Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures relatively unchanged, trying to get back into positive territory where we were a little bit weak initially when I sat down this morning, but kind of mixed at this point as investors take a bit of a wait and see approach heading into the Thanksgiving holiday over the next couple of days. Off tomorrow. We will not be here. No show on Thursday. Friday, half day, we will be back on Friday morning. The Dow still on pace for its biggest monthly gain since 1987. Closed above that 30,000 mark for the first time yesterday. The NASDAQ and S&P relatively unchanged. They were positive, but only just. We're watching shares of Nikola Corporation this morning. Big move to the downside. Aftermarket yesterday. The CEO in an aftermarket interview, not shedding any light or talking whatsoever about the potential deal with General Motors. We'll have a look at that coming up. The rest of the electric vehicle space also back on the move this morning. Big moves for the Chinese names to the downside after a Chinese government launched an investigation into the space over in China. We'll talk about that. And there's also some earnings to get through this morning in the retail space. Both Nordstrom's and Gap reported aftermarket yesterday. It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see Shanghai and Hong Kong pretty mixed at the end of the day. Let's shift over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. Pretty negative right across the board here outside of Italy and the Swiss market. We'll shift over one more time and see how North America is looking. Yeah, a little bit better now. The NASDAQ back in positive territory. Both the Dow and S&P pointing to slight declines, I should say. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to the downside. Brazil's open trading lower. We have Bitcoin higher again today. Both crude oil and gold also higher to start the day. One day left, guys, until the Thanksgiving holiday coming up tomorrow. As I mentioned, no show for us on Thursday. We will be back on Friday, although it is a half session for U.S. markets.
Absolutely. Happy Turkey Day. Obviously, sometimes you do see a little bit less volume in the market today. I think, thankfully, as Brendan mentioned, this investigation going on in China has a lot of these EV names, the Chinese EV names, moving around a heck of a lot pre-market. So there is lots of activity. I mean, cannabis and so the alternative fuel energy sector also pulling back in. So you do have a lot of pre-market movers, which for me, I can't remember the last time it was this active on like the Wednesday Thanksgiving morning. So I think it's going to be an exciting one here for us. A couple of things just to remind everybody, of course, we are starting that new time on Monday, 8:30. We'll be going live, and we have that Q&A for our members coming 8:30. We're always excited for that, Sean. And you've got some retail names. I saw Nordstrom's up. I want to say 7%, but I think it pulled back, so it might be 5 now.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to watch to see what happens with Nordstrom. We have some, I think it's $27 calls. Oh, man, I keep kicking these wires. Everything's fine, though. Yeah, Nordstrom today up that 5%. Gap as well going the other way. GPS here. Thank you for joining us, and good call on that one, Neil. We're already long Palantir in the money. You can see at the bottom there, we're long at 18. It's at 30 right now. Gap the other way, guys. Gap down 13%. Quick look at the imbalance locator before we throw back to Brendan. GE's in the long-term portfolio right now, so that's been added. There's XPEV. We'll talk about all these names, guys. EV space heading southbound right now, Brendan.
Yeah, NEO right in front of XPEV there as well on the imbalance locator. Let's have a look at a couple of things before we get going here this morning. I want to show you how traders fared here at Day Trade the World yesterday. Big numbers here, guys. Top 10 traders from Day Trade the World here yesterday. Yeah, 256,000 there coming out of these markets. 173,000 number 2 there out of Canada, the NASDAQ, and New York. Still 5 figures all the way down to number 6. So volatility was increased yesterday, to say the least. So we had all kinds of opportunity. Great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. Let's have a look at what is coming up a little later in the show. Another great video coming your way all about small caps. We talk about the Canadian small cap sector and opportunities north of the border when it comes to small caps with our good friend Rahim Alani from OCI Groups comes by and discusses some small cap names with us. Let's go over to the desk to start things off and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hey guys, I wish you all a profitable trading day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Take it away, Brandon.
Yes, let's jump right into things, guys. I'm throwing my pen around here. We'll get into what is moving around in the pre-market. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe to this channel as we jump into Premarket Movers. If you haven't done so already, sign up for the watch list. We get it out to you every single morning before we come on. Has all of the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market and some of the reasons as to why. Join us then at 9 o'clock, as Neil said, on Monday morning. We're switching to 8:30 to give you even more preparation heading towards the open. Let's get into Gap. First off, we had earnings for Gap. Yeah, not good. The holiday forecast also a little bit underwhelming as far as analysts were concerned as well. It's worth noting, guys, there's a whole bunch of analyst moves in this entire sector today. I'm talking the entire group and probably 4, 5, 6 different analysts with either price target decreases or cuts. So going to be a little bit weak here, I think, for Gap.
Yeah, a little bit. 12.5% already short sell restricted. So, of course, that chart not working. But I was already looking at a couple of levels, and I think we've had a bit of a pull down from 24. Now, this was an obvious one when I sat down. There were two somewhat muted iceberg orders, and one of them was sitting here at 24. One was a little bit higher earlier on in the morning at 24.30. I'm still going to be looking at those two particular levels. I think that would be a great target range if there's any buying off the open in Gap. And I would tend to think that, given the fact that it is, of course, holiday tomorrow, you might see a little bit more relative activity in the first 10, 15 minutes in a name like this, as opposed to like extended action. So I am going to be really looking for that initial trade if I can get it, that little pull up. And that means I might sit on the offer instead of waiting for it to turn around. If there's a pop, I might just be sitting on the offer and looking to get short into that pop rather than miss out on it. If we go any further to the downside here, just looking around this 2150 to 2160 area, I don't think it's going to get there, but that might be a place where you might terminate some moves. I kind of feel like obvious areas of support might hold up better if there's lighter volume today.
I would like to go long Gap. I think it's a little bit overdone here, but I mean, who am I to say that? I don't know anything about this store. I do know that the wife's spending a lot of money online with Gap, so their online seems to be pretty tight, but here it is down here, Gap. I just sorted by alphabetical. That's why Canada Goose might be a name you're looking at 12. 152,000 to sell and only 22,000 paired off. So not a huge imbalance today. We'll go back to the top here so you can see what's there again. It's not actually a huge day. I want to say happy Thanksgiving Eve to all of our U.S. friends and anybody celebrating Thanksgiving. We're here in lovely Canada. We already had our Thanksgiving in October, but we'll be celebrating tomorrow as we take U.S. holidays off. 2350 here. Again, not a bad spot. If you want to go long, we're right there right now though. So it's not super interesting to me at this level. I think if we can get back to 24 and look at VWAP is when we'll start to get interested in it. I would love this 2430 takeoff or 2450, but it needs to retrace a hell of a lot to get back to those levels. So right now we're just going to wait on Gap. I don't want to go short. It's already down 12.5%. I think that's a little bit overdone considering what the retail has been doing and that the vaccine's on the way and blah, 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 blah. So let's just wait to see what Gap does. I'll go short, but I just want to see what it does off the open.
Yeah, it was interesting in that report. They specifically pointed out both it was Old Navy and Athletica as being higher as far as the digital sales were concerned, but the Gap brand not as good on the digital side of things for Gap. Let's go to Nordstrom's next, guys. The department store operator. Yeah, blowout earnings here right across the board, much better than expected. Their holiday forecast was again below estimates. I think this is becoming a trend. We saw it with Best Buy earlier in the week as well. I think no one really knows what to expect this year, as 2020 has been very strange. But again, multiple analyst moves on Nordstrom's today.
Yeah, and I like, we talked about that yesterday. We looked at the short percentage, and we gave that to you. So I hope that was a little bit of an indication on what JWN was going to do. I got out of the money calls at 27. I don't think they'll be good because it didn't really. I mean, it touched 26.80 yesterday. If we get to 27, then fine. But we're gonna. I don't. We're gonna wait to see if they're good or not. Should have got in the money calls. Would have made more sense. Stupid of me. That's why you don't listen to me for options. But Nordstrom's to the high side for sure. Good report there. Of course, they don't give any updates. I don't think that's horrible to do in the first place. I mean, a lot of companies were sandbagging these quarters, not knowing what's going in to the holiday season. It's nice to see their online sales boosted up a bit again as well. So I like Nordstrom's. I mean, the wife tells me it's beautiful to shop even in the stores when they're there. Great customer service, and now they have good online. So I think on a battle back for the economy, I like Nordstrom's. I like Macy's. So yeah, I kind of do like this 26 break rate here, and then obviously if we take out the top, then that would be fantastic. But 26 for Nordstrom's is a breaking spot for me. I just would want to give back to Palantir just a little bit. We're already long now, 23.18, and it's at 23.50, so we're about to make all-time highs on this bad boy once again. 30 cents in the money right here.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a bit of a dip in Nordstrom's. First level further away, don't think it'll happen. 24.80 to 25, a bit of a breakout when you look at a higher time frame. But this pre-market bottom, I mean, there's a lot of consolidation down here. You did have the aftermarket, both initial stall out, I guess you could call it, at about 420. Right at this 25.65 area, you had it also bounce to the downside and hold that level aftermarket. And now we're just consolidating right around this. I mean, the bottom here is 25.40, and then 25.60 would be the top end of that range. So somewhere in here off the open, if there's still that price to be had, is a New York stock. So I'd want it to actually open up. If it does open up down there, a quick shot with the long and maybe looking at a dip at 24.80 to 25, I think is another way to play this one.
All right, guys, let's go to Nikola next. We'll get into the entire EV space here coming up, but I want to talk about Nikola separately because of discussion that the CEO, Mark Russell, had in an interview after market yesterday. Failed to mention any kind of update or any, increase or shed any light, really, whatsoever on discussions with General Motors when it comes to the two teaming up. So that's the cause, really, for the move down here this morning. I just noticed that Nikola really can't get out of its own way, about to make a new low on the pre-market here.
Yeah, the interesting place that it just got to in the pre-market bottom. If you go all the way back to the initial dip to the downside after the launch, and its first bounce came right here at 29. And then you had a breakdown right around that same price. So we just dipped down and we're holding this sort of 28.80 to 29. More or less the exact same level from that daily chart. So it's a bit of a breakthrough point. I know it's down 15%, which kind of means that if it is a breakdown trade, it's not always the best when it's short sell restricted, especially if there ends up being a little bit lighter volume. It'd be hard to catch that on the way in. If we do come back up, I was actually sitting down and at 7 o'clock did see this break right here at 30 even. And there was a bit of a battle that got waged, so there was some buying that tried to step in at 30. It didn't work, so I'll be looking at that 30 level if it comes back in. It's possible if we hold this low, that 30 could give you a bit of a jump-off point. And next week, of course, the deadline to get this deal finalized, that'll be on the 3rd, so you have to watch out for that.
Yeah, I see everyone. Yeah, you're right, Daryl. PLTR, man, Palantir. Just congratulations to everybody that's in that name with me. I can't keep saying that enough. And thank you for listening, not listening, but taking some advice there on the long there on PLTR for a while. Yeah, look, you're not going to come out and state that, like they talked, it was on Mad Money last night with Jim Cramer there about the car and not giving really any update on the GM news. So yeah, you're going to get hit on that. I mean, we already saw Nikola move to $54 on that GM news. Now you pull back today. Neil just did a good job of talking about some of the levels here. So I don't know. I mean, the 50 period's down here at 23. I don't think we get to that today. It's at 29 and still tumbling. I just think that's not a very good confidence spot there for the current CEO. It's Trevor Milton, the old CEO. I forget the new name there, but 29, 28, 75 is the bottom. I don't really want to go long this name today. I did write down $30.50. That's that little wick up here. If that can come into play, then we will take that out, but that's still $1 from now. I'm not going to push the long into that. Let's just wait to see what happens here on Nikola. I'm sorry, I just don't have a good feel for this one right now. It doesn't seem to make too much sense to me right here.
All right, guys, let's talk Chinese electric vehicle makers, XPEV, NIO, Li Auto. There's that Candy as well, all to the downside this morning. The Chinese government coming out announcing that they've asked for investigations to start into a couple of specific projects when it comes to the sector in China that could potentially lead to more investigations and more companies involved. So this entire group under pressure this morning on that news.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nothing yet specific, and that's all speculation. Yet specific to any of these names. I just happen to be looking at XPEV here, XPeng. It just made a bit of a bounce off of the 6150 area, and I was watching this level here in the pre-market. 64.50 to 65, and very similar to Nikola. And I know this is different because it's a different story, but very similar to Nikola. There was a bit of a battle that got waged here, 64.50. Tried to bounce up a couple of times, had some failures. So that's the first level that I'll be watching. I think if it gets back through there, you might have a bit of an actionable trade if it holds above. If you like that long, below it, I would remain bearish. It is short sell restricted. Almost all the names in the space are going to be today. I do believe NIO has held up at least a little bit better here. So it's only down about 7% and is trying to get back to that 50 level. So, XPeng, NIO, probably the ones I'll be watching. Initially, it's this 50 level on NIO that I think could be very, very interesting on any potential break. I like short sells, so I would absolutely love it if it broke above this 50 and then have one of those snap down, fail break trades where you just sort of catch it on the way back in. Maybe you get like 70s to 80s, you have an obvious stop out, and then it rolls towards the low. Again, that's a setup you have to be looking for before it comes.
I believe in NIO. I mean, what they're investigating is not, it doesn't look like it's going to be into NIO at all. Investigating construction and production details. I mean, NIO is already a legit company and selling, I think it was 12,000 vehicles or whatever it was last quarter. So I think they're fine. I think it's more the XPEV and some of those recent IPOs, Li Auto and whatnot, that could be in trouble there. And yeah, I mean, fading NIO's been fine. It's been good. It's been working. It's been down the last couple, not down the last couple of days, but the moves have been quite nice to both sides here. This is yesterday off the open, wherever the open is. This is the move I'm talking about, a nice down move off the open. I mean, that was $57 down to 52 before making its way back 55. And so you know what? It has multiple dollar moves in it. Neil's correct on that one. So let's just wait to see what happens here. I like the long through 50, but it would only be on NIO. As I check the imbalance locator, it's a 1.5 million share sell right now, and XPEG 500,000. So even NIO's, this is almost 2 million, right? 1.8, 1 plus 7, 1.7 million. XPEG 5 plus 2, 7. So more interest rate here on NIO, but XPEV leading the way to the downside. So I like XPEV breaking 61.50, which is just the bottom so far today. It's 61.62. If you could break 61.50, we'll go short like we did yesterday. We are not expecting a $7 winner like yesterday off a 70 short, but I do think that we could squeeze below 60. So let's watch 61.50, and then like I think Neil was saying there, was fade anything on the high side if we can get it, and then just see the action. But yesterday's trade was hot off the open.
All right, guys, let's go to HP. There's another Chinese name coming up here, Yunji, that YJ from yesterday. Going to talk about that. But HP, there's both HP and Dell, worth noting. Dell also reported earnings. HP far more active in the pre-market, so worth a look here for HPQ. Blowout quarter, a lot of people shopping online, obviously working at home, maybe upgrading their computers. A lot of laptop sales, so both the top and bottom numbers better than expected for HPQ, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those logical stories that just makes so much sense. Both HP and Dell benefiting from this. It's the fact that there's low volume in the pre-market is not the end of the world here. Holiday, but also this consolidation is not a bad one. You're looking at about 22.75 up to about 23 and change. This is exactly where it's settled in the aftermarket on a pullback. That's still a healthy gain for HPQ. So that means, it's one of those things where he used to put this trade on, it used to be over an AMD when it was not going as crazy as it used to, or is lately, where you could maybe take out the top here and you're only really risking to, a relatively tight stop, like a 25 to 40 cent stop here in the bottom. If HPQ wants to go, the volume also kind of allows you to pick something up if it goes to like 22.85 as well, and then just see if you get a bit of a runner. And it's a low risk type of trade that I think I like here in HPQ. The market is holding basically up at flat. So, you got to make sure you're sticking to the names that have a chance to run. I feel like you could see a lot of one and done at the open, and buying an HPQ. Yeah, I'll take my shot.
I wanted to quickly look. I saw somebody, and I forget who it was, and I apologize as I look through the chat. Thank you for everybody becoming members and be part of our chat. We have the members-only chat coming up on Monday. That's after the show. So 1 o'clock, you'll all get a link for anybody who's part of the members. And it's just like a gentleman like Dan McIsaac here. Anybody in green is a member. It's $5 a month. We're able to see you, and we tend to answer those questions a little bit before the other ones, but it doesn't matter. We answer them all. And that's why I can't remember who mentioned it, but they said maybe everyone's switching into Fisker today. Fisker with a nice little move, man, up 8 and a bit %. I just wanted to call this daily chart because back when it was SPAC, we did touch 18 here before falling. So again, I think Fisker's breaking out, if not broken out already, just starting really just today and the last couple of days. 1650 looked like it was sort of the bottom there of this range. This is kind of the daily chart that I like. The 50-period moving average down here at 16. So you're going to watch out here, and that's 18 top on FSK. I actually really like that one if we could take it out, even just this, 1760 or so if we get back to there. Still 10 minutes to go, so we're not going to put any orders out now, especially with the imbalance locator looking like it is. And Fisker's not going to, oh, there it is. I was going to say Fisker's not going to be on here, but it's creeping up, man. It's moving. Where is it? There it is. Fisker moving around, man. 224 now. So, yeah, this could be a good spot here for FSR. Take out the top. And talking about taking out the top, Palantir now all-time highs back to 2380. Guys, we're long 2320 right. 2320. Don't shortchange yourself. 2318, guys.
All right, guys. There was a little headline that came out. If we could show my screen here, Robbie, real quick. Yeah, Fisker Citigroup with an upgrade to buy. That was right before we came on there at 9 o'clock. Citigroup upgrading. They're talking about the Magna International deal there with the Fisker Ocean that's set to launch. They actually have a Q4 2022 date in this little note here. It's the first time I've actually seen a date for the Ocean. Again, Magna International here. In Toronto, actually going to be building that. So that's another little catalyst there. Let's bring in Arun. We'll have a look at the overall market, talk about the futures here, see what significant levels we need to be aware of. We're kind of back into this choppy range so far this morning, Arun. We are trying to get back into positive territory, but what are you looking at?
Yeah, it's just really going sideways, right? The 3620 at the moment is my level. That's the level I've been working with since yesterday. 3620 back in play for today. And of course, the high of the overnight, which is 3655 is what I'm looking at on the top end. In between, there is not a whole lot. I can't get a read. I can't get a bias. I only have 2 levels to work with. There's no ranges that I'm willing to short or buy inside of. So I'm just going to mark off those 2 levels, let the market operate and see what kind of bias we develop after the open. Keep in mind, today is the last full trading day before the Thanksgiving holiday. Of course, we have Friday as a half day, but today's the last full day. So I am expecting some volatility towards the close today. So that's a potential trading opportunity there. But throughout the day, I really have no clue. So I'm just going to mark the levels off and just wait it out.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in on Friday morning. Arun will be back with us Friday. Let's go to UNG. YJ, we've mentioned it the past couple of days. Huge mover to start the week off to the upside. There's kind of rumors floating around that this deal was in the works and now has officially been done. They teamed up with TikTok majority owner ByteDance to provide some e-commerce support and also software for their Douyin is what it's called, their streaming platform. So YJ, guys, back in positive territory again.
So I should have said this at the beginning, but you might see some more stocks traded for me in the pre-market, not necessarily positions I'm in, but positions you can see the profits for. And I've just been coming in a little bit earlier and then trying some things out, testing some things. And one of the things I was able to find out is there's some good breakouts really, really early in the pre-market. And we'll be able to discuss this more when we start at 8:30. But this particular one, YJ, I had a break at 620 right after 7 o'clock. And then I got out when the seller showed up at 650. It tried to break through again after a pullback, and a couple of times it failed at that same 650 price. I'm watching those current highs, 650 to 665. A lot of resistance. That original break at 620, it has now turned into a bit of a resistance point as well. So you might look, I am going to be looking to short off of that. It's already pulling back in. The pre-market lows here, 580 does feel like it's a breakdown trade on YJ, but I had the fortune to be able to see the 620 in action. when it broke to the upside, 6 even, and then that level where I was able to get in. Just brief consolidation in a seller there. So I'll be trying to short in front of it. Just watch out for a jailbreak at that high of day. Couldn't get through at 7. It could be a different story at the open if it gets there.
I might, I haven't. Neil's looked at that and has the experience there from today for that stock. So look at Neil, guys, about to break through 50. I'm going to take that long right now, even though it's still 5 minutes to go. I like you saw. I mean, just look at XPEV here.
I don't like. I'm at like. I took the short in front of it, and I had my stop, and I'm thinking I could get reversed into an XPEV, which I don't want. So I want to make sure that I adjust my order because I have to put in less size pre-market. But NEO could go. XPEV I would just cover. I'm not going long in XPEV. NEO feels a little better at that 50 level, Sean.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait for XPEV. I just want to show everybody that XPEV now making that bounce and that move back to the high side right now. I don't think that report is that. I mean, look, I'm holding those puts, so I mean, I wish for it to be dead, but I don't think that's going to happen. Those puts are going to lose. XPEV right there. I don't think it's too negative of a story. There goes NEO. As I was talking about it, I didn't take it, so we'll go small right now above $50.
All right, guys, let's go to the cannabis space. Big strength over the past couple of days coming from cannabis stocks. ACB notably weak this morning, down about 6%. At one point, they're going to team up with Cantech Holdings from Israel and provide them with medical grade flour, 4,000 kilograms apparently per year for medical use for this Cantech Holdings. So ACB a little bit weaker on this news, guys, than the rest of the group today.
Yeah, I mean, weakness in cannabis. Once they started trading down, I didn't even look at ACB initially. I just went over to Sundial and just shorted that one. So you'll see me in that again for like the umpteenth day in a row. But I'm watching this 9 even area and then above here. Now we've sort of held yesterday's low on ACB at 850, and I say sort of because we opened up in the pre-market a little bit lower than that. But we've now held it on a pullback, and now it's trying to break out through 9 even. So I would look at that 850. That seems like yesterday's support could be a good one, and you can still use it. It's valid today. And then you're watching a 9 even potential break. That'll take you into yesterday's close, so it might have some chop and worth a scalp. I would certainly think at that 925 mark, and then from there, who knows? But I decided to play short in the name that has been weak all week for me. Sundial as opposed to ACB off that, Sean.
Yeah, we're getting some more long right now in denial as it comes down. Look, I don't NEO, of course. I don't really understand why this is negative news for ACB. They're a grower, and they just sold 4 million tons of medical grade. I don't know how much it was. 4,000 kilograms, whatever it was, of medical grade cannabis over to an Israeli company. To me, that makes sense, and that's a good one, right? So I don't know why they're down, but they're down. They've been a high flyer lately. The day chart basically says it all. It does have the reverse split in here still. That's what it's always going to look like. But look at that, man. It's just been a drip down, like 17 down to 3 in the last couple months. That's pathetic. 895 right here, looking to break out. I like the long because I think it's good news, but it doesn't mean that that's actually going to go up today. This is such a tough stock to trade, guys. But we are going to go long through $9 and see if we get it back into the 9.25 area.
All right, guys, this was a little bit hard to find as far as the news is concerned this morning, but I want to talk about this one, MTC, which is MTech, a little Chinese holding company. They teamed up with another holding company from Singapore. They're going to provide some software support for this another fintech holding company from Singapore in the blockchain space. So MTC getting into crypto, that means 103%. To the upside today. We're coming up to 250. Anything above 220, I was kind of watching 220. That was kind of my line in the sand. That already got taken out. So you can see huge volume coming in above 220, guys, for MTC. All right.
Yeah, that was a name that I watched, and I did actually have a trade on this one in the pre-market, and it was very, very early on. And this is like just at 820 or so. I tried to short, it blew out to the upside. I haven't touched it because it looks very, very strong to that upside. So I'd watch out for that one. Looks like it could go a bit parabolic. The other names that are moving around a little bit, we should probably go back to some of the clean space names. Fuel Tech is down 20%, but big bounce here. Right to $5. I mentioned this in the chat a few minutes ago. Watch out for the 5 level. It just turned around a second time around this price. So watch out for Fuel Tech 5. That looks like it's a bit of a breakout price. I'd short in front of it, breakout long if it goes through 5 even. I do have that XPEV at 64.50, so I am going to lose 50 pennies if it breaks through that 65. In which case, I don't know if I'll still be able to get NEO at 50. But pre-market long one, short the other just feels wrong to me, even though that kind of seems like it should be the setup. Fuel Tech through 5, I'll definitely have.
Yeah, we're already long NEO here. We just got some more. We're long at 91s here as the market is about to open. A quick look here on the imbalance locator. Still has NEO as a big sell. So that's what's hitting this stock right now to the downside. NEO sell. Ford is a sell as well. We're long Ford 650. Palantir, the story's already been told. So watch Palantir $24 today, maybe 25 as we called. But I can't believe that's happening. But it is. With only 30 seconds to go, let's look at Fisker quick time. I like this break of 1760 there on Fisker. Maybe even take a 1750 long if it breaks. Yeah, no, let's wait for 60. That's 65, 1765 on Fisker. With only 20 seconds to go, Palantir, 68-cent winner, and we're flat here on NEO, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And just with the countdown ready to go, of course, remember, a happy Turkey Day, pre-Turkey Day for everybody. But let's drop that countdown. I believe Miss V is ready to go.
Here goes Neo.
Looking rather dapper today. I think that's a good look. 3, 2, and 1. This market is open. I got to be looking immediately at both Nicola and, of course, I do have that X-Pass position. It's going to test right away, I think, at that at 65 area in particular. Nicola just crashed through. I was saying I was looking at 29. It just crashed through that 29 mark, so I didn't miss an opportunity to catch that breakdown.
Yeah, no, everything right now looking like, I mean, like we just said, we're not really into too many things here. Palantir, though, what a big mover this one is, guys. Look at this, just taking it out. We are $1.15 now in the money on Palantir. Rip City. Boom! We did it again, guys. We got in early on this one. And then NEO as well. That's a dime in the money right here as we go. Not even open yet, but watch out for NEO. Starting to get excited a bit here. We're long 87. We just took some out at 07. That's a 20-penny winner. Watch NEO ripping to the upside if we can get it. But Palantir, a big win, guys, here. Let's take some off. What, 24.50? Wowzers, guys.
Yeah, and just a quick look. I did get into HPQ there as well, but that was a bit of a dip buy. We talked about that one. XPeng made a move to the downside here for me. So, I'm going to be able to get some out here. It's 63. There was a bit of a pullback at that 63 price, so we roll in at 64.50. Get $1.50 already. I'll definitely take another leg out if it gets down to 62, but already a nice win here. Fisker pulled back, so I got some in front of 17 even, 17.22 the entry price there. So HBQ, a quick long in that name, and XPeng short. This is why you take profit, because it's almost right back to flat, guys.
Oh my God, we could have just been monstrous. We just got taken out there, like on NEO, on all that crazy action that just happened. We got taken out on a bad wick there to the downside, 49.22. Holy crap, we were huge on NEO. You guys literally have no idea what we had down here. 49.60s. We had you. We had NEO long, and we got taken out when the market didn't open, and I had a market on open order in there. We were huge on NEO. Sorry about that, guys. We were long. Well, not sorry, because hopefully you guys have it, and you went to put that order out. We could have been monstrous here on NEO. We had too many shares to even discuss about it, so right now I'm a little distraught.
Crazy action. Like I said, we're about to test that 65 in XPeng. So 64.50 short, make $1.50, lose 50 pennies on the rest, reverse and go long, and then make a scalp up to 65.50. So a lot of action already on XPeng. I am actually flat on the name, but I did talk about, I think I mentioned this in the chat, I like the dip buy on Fisker. I did get this one at 17.22. It's taking out the top here, and I was meaning to add on a break, but never even got the fill. Brennan, what's up?
Remember this one as well, guys. Ideanomics, IDEX, back into the EV space as well, just popping up at the open there on volume 275. Bit of a problem, though. This thing was above 3 yesterday.
And in 17.22, just got some out, 17.90 on Fisker, so we'll line that one and knock it dead. I'm going to play another pullback here. If it comes anywhere near this 17.60 where I wanted the breakout, I got to have some. I think the 18 break is still going to be good as well, so a couple of ways I can still come into Fisker here. Of course, 18 break looks like it might happen first.
Guys, congratulations to everybody. Obviously, we had NEO there, and like we were loaded up. Like $49.50 or something was our price, man. That's a $2 winner, and hell yeah, it's still going. So congratulations to everybody. We did, seek revenge, and we already had this one from the top, 1766 up to 18 there on FSR. So we did do quite well on that trade, so there's no doubt about that. And then our Palantir, like, I can't believe I'm so upset. Like, we just take $1 on Palantir back and forth, and then we taking right now multiple pennies. It's just breaking through 18. What another big win right there, to the moon. Let's go, Fisker. Make up for it for Neo, as Fisker now ripping through the high side. We would be, I'm embarrassed to tell you how huge we would be if I didn't get wicked out. What's up, Brandon?
Watch Nicola here, guys, trying to break above this little pivot, 29.50 in the pre-market. Again, showing some relative strength for Nicola. Huge monster print came in there at the open as well, guys.
And added to Fisker at 18, so we got the 17.20 buy, we got the 18 break. But HPQ, here was the dip. We talked about buying this one in front of the pre-market low. Got 65. I just got some out here on the front side of 23, 23 even, so 40 penny winner there. It's now breaking out through the pre-market high and headed towards the aftermarket play. And of course, that top was about 23.80 or so. I'll definitely take profit on the way up. 23.50 the first mark, and then 23.80 likely be almost all out of this HPQ position. But another runner here, guys. Watch list, watch list, watch list. Normally wouldn't be trading in HPQ.
Hey, man, thanks so much for the super chat there, Rich Rucco. Yeah, man, that $50 will help, but what we had was monster there. And thank you for everybody. I can't believe it's showing me negative on Neo. Like, look at these buys, and then this happens. I get triggered out, and we actually get out at 50 there. 49.50. You can see, like, once it shows the profits, I'm going to be basically flat on Neo. That's how you know what exactly I had down here at 49.50. What a monster move that was. We just got hit out at 40 there as well on Fisker. So a good little out. We're still holding half of this trade, long 17.67, making a little bit of money back. But that Neo trade was just such a nightmare. Why did I put that order out? Nobody will know. We talked about that yesterday, Brendan, about getting wicked out on that first couple trades, and I did it again. 208 on PayPal, great move there. Great move also on Square today. A lot of these stocks, man, rocking and rolling. We talked about Bitcoin and what that's doing. We'll look at that in a minute, but damn it, I'm still upset. What up, Brad?
Just checking on this Moxian, MOXC. Gonna have to double check, but 28% here. Big volume alert there through 160 on the way back up. It was up at 175 in the pre-market, but decent move here, trying to get above this consolidation on the daily time frame, guys, for MOXC.
Just a new position alert. FTech, Fuel Tech did break that 5. I did get in. It stalled out just a little bit. It's trying to hold the 95s here. So, if this move wants to continue, it was all, it was basically all buying off of the open right into that 5. If it breaks, I'll take some out maybe at that quarter mark and then try to ride it a little bit higher. 20% to the downside. I mean, it's such a gigantic move, obviously. We have to pay attention to that. Just to come back over to HPQ. This one still grinding towards the upside, but 23.25. You can see a bit of a line in the sand there. It's not a lot of size, but HPQ is not the biggest in volume. Once it gets through that, I'll take some more profit on the north side of 23.25. Of course, the only long I did have was a little bottom pick here on HPQ. Good name, and Fisker starting to pull back in. I liked 17.60 for a dip buy before. I might as well like it again.
Yeah, I'm still upset, but that's okay. We're going to watch JWN, which is Nordstrom's. We talked about that here as well, and that's making some moves here now, too. 26.17, making moves higher here. Let's see what Nordstrom's wants to do. What's up, Bren?
Another one from the list this morning, guys. Goose, Canada Goose to the downside. We talked about this one actually higher yesterday. We got above that recent high in the daily chart. And then some yesterday, gets a double downgrade today. So monster volume on the open there as well to the downside. Came down to about 35.10 for Goose.
Wow, that's not a good look for a Canadian name there. Now, obviously, just another name, Fuel Cell, in addition to FTech. So I have to watch out for this one because FTech just pulled back in and just stopped me out. So basically risk 10, 15 pennies, something in that range. Because it's the open, otherwise I usually short these things. That's why I don't hold the longs very long. But I'm watching now Fuel Cell. It's still trying to hold up a little bit better than FTech. So I think maybe the relative strength is overwhelming as this is about to go positive. Fuel Tech's still down that 5%, guys. Sorry, that 20%. We might actually be looking for a better opportunity to go long in Fuel Cell as opposed to FTech where I did go.
Okay, look, a lot of these names going like mad right now. Fisker, though, coming back, guys. Fisker, we did get out majority of our, a little more than half. I shouldn't say the majority of it. Now we're going to wait to see if it does take out the bottom and lose on this one, 16.50. Let's just let the dust settle a little bit with some of these EV names. It does look like that switch may have been correct out of some of the EV names into Fisker off the open. We did catch that upgrade as well, so let's see what it does now. Back down to 16.50 here on FSR. It's the only position that we have on, and by the way, there goes Palantir again. It reloads, and now it's at 25, guys.
Yeah, and what a fantastic move Palantir's. And that's the thing, on a day like today, go with what you're the most confident in. That's why I love that look. 1760, I mean, a bid just showed up on Fisker here at 1756. It came, it went. I'd have to jump back down to that price to be sure whether it's still there. But 60 was that pullback that I liked. It was the... I guess you want to call it the opening, not the opening range, sure, the pre-market top. It did just bounce off it, so I'm going to see if I can't pick up a few more shares down here just to get a better overall price on this Fisker trade. If it breaks VWAP, probably a decent sign to get out of this one. XPeng is still at 65. So, I mean, I would have been whipped in and around about 1 million times if I was still trying to mess with that stock. So I'm glad I got in and out and one and done, or technically two and done in that name. I will revisit it if we get back southbound of that 65 area and hold. Brendan, what's up?
Another big mover over the past couple of sessions, CRSR, Corsair Gaming, just absolutely flushed here. 49.50 down to 44.50, 13%. Again, this has been on quite the run on the daily time frame, but straight southbound today for CRSR, guys.
All right, we're long and we're huge again. Bang. I mean, I am just like on fire right now if I had that Neo trade. But there we go, man. We hammered it. Huge position, one of the biggest I've had on Palantir in a while, through 25, and yeah, hammered it to the north side right now. Let's just get out 49. We'll see what it's going to do here. Is it going to resist this 25.50? Who knows? We're almost out of it, man. I have 20% left, but wow, that was a big move. You can see Palantir. This is just how I trade, guys, like a light in and out on Palantir. So we'll wait to see on that one. But wow, Neo still moving, and there's Palantir. What a great trade. Look at Palantir, 23.15 off the open, guys. Monster trade.
And going back into that XPeng, it takes out 65, so now I have a target range I'll play off of. 66 is the current high. I'm going to roll into some more shares here, and then if 66 breaks, I think we're going upside on this name. I still have the long in Fisker, so you will see me long one, short the other, but it's, again, the Chinese news different from the American EV space because of that potential investigation. That's why I feel rather comfortable going in that direction. Brendan, what's up, bud?
I'm very upset. YJ, Yunjin from the list as well, still 4%, just halted downside. $6 up here, 440 here. We're back into yesterday's range, but halt to the downside for YJ, guys.
Totally forgot about that stock.
Okay, guys, Fisker right now back to the upside. I still am beside myself. Thank you so much for all the members, guys. We'll get over this eventually. LYDYD, thank you so much. Ethan Delves, thank you so much. And again, thank you so much, Rich Rucco there, for the super chat and the contribution to what we're doing here. We're giving it our all. And boom, Palantir, guys, the stock that just keeps on giving, now through 50s to the high side. It just keeps on ripping northbound, and we're just going to keep getting this out. We're long at 25, and it's just making moves to the high side now. Palantir, wow. I called 25 by Friday, and I even myself thought I was insane making that call. And I like snickers in my head. I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. Why did I just publicly say that? But I mean, $18 all the way to 25. We made the 25 call down here. We made this call down here anyways. So we're sub 10 long on this name. Palantir still ripping and rocking as well. Okay, Fisker, we've taken nothing out for a loser. It was bouncing around VWAP. We did take a little bit out there. It rips back to 18, and you saw me get out of a little bit more there. But what a profitable day this has been. Just could be infinitely more. That's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with backflips, because double down. We talked about this break at 1760.
Like that one, Gregory?
Double dip here at 1760. I showed you guys at level 2. There was a buyer at 56. That's why I added twice at that price, and then got some out here at 1780. So that's one of the easier scalps you'll see. An obvious level 2 buyer holding up at a breakout price from the pre-market. So you double dip. I'm going to take profit every single time, just in case it comes back down and I want to reload. If it breaks through 18, I'll take a few more shares off, hopefully on a run to the high side on this name. So a good little run here on Fuel Cell. I actually want to be sick about that YJ. It is what it is. I talked about that target range, that 580 breakdown. Now, obviously, you probably don't even get that. It happens so fast now that it's halted. This one opens up and retests higher. I will be all over this 550 area where it had the halt to the downside, and then the top of that range is about 565. It gives me anywhere close to that. I am definitely shorting that one in front of that level. It should be open back up in just a minute or so.
Yeah, also more long 25 here. Follow us on Twitter. What's up, Brent?
There's a little SPAC that we were talking about a couple of days ago, NBAC. Big move here again today. Not seeing any updates on news, but NBAC 45% straight higher. Big volume behind this move as well, guys.
We're just going to put up a tweet here. Okay, guys. Yeah, so right now we just did get out of Palantir a little bit there at 60s. What a mistake that was, because now we're in the 70s. This stock is just rocking and rolling. Just keeps on going high, high, high. We're going to get out of this one soon and buy ourselves something real nice on this one. So, I mean, Palantir just keeps on ripping people's heads off right now. And the other stock that is as well was NEO, and this is where we were long. We've already talked about that, 49 and change. Making new days high on NEO. No surprise there for me anyways. I talked about in the pre-market, and Neil said, this is why we're going to 8:30 on Monday, man. I talked about that 50 level and how much I liked it. So there it is, $50 on NEO. We loved that level. Hopefully you're long with me. Put it in the chat if you're long, guys, with us. NEO, what a monster that's been to the high side. I just wanted to look at XPEV quickly, XPEV, just to see if that's fading off at all, and it's not. I think we could go short at some point, but we got to let these things run. Well, Palantir 26, okay.
Just going to continue to monitor this FSR here. I just actually tweeted this one out. The pullback worked so far. I'm trying to see if it'll break through this 18. Now, I have an order on the north side of that, but given the consolidation higher, I'm going to up my target on it. So I was going to get out, literally like that 805 to 810 when maybe stops trigger. Some people are doing a breakout trade, maybe at 18 even again. Now I'm thinking about more like the 15 or 20 just to extend it a little bit and then try to hold some more for 1850. And then even if it breaks 1850, I want to have something on board here. So that last little third, I'm going to give for a bigger home run style trade on Palantir, on fuel cell, not fuel cell, FSR. Man, so many symbols, so many to watch. That YJ opened back up. Yeah, like I said, if it gets anywhere close to that 5 or 540 mark, I'll short it. It is still hanging around that bottom, man. That's one I definitely should have had. That's why we cover these for you in the pre-market. That one looked weak after I had a breakout long at 7. Brendan, what's up?
Another one from the list, guys, ANPC, trying to bounce here off of 750, but looking a little bit weak. We're below that low from the pre-market on news for this one as well, but 750 needs to hold here for ANPC.
And guys, next time I have an idea, I'm going to put a little more money in myself, but right now we have to raise this cup up. Hey, Valeria, how's it going? Good to see you. Not too bad. We just got out there, guys, 26.30 out on Palantir. That's $1.30 there. Not only $1.30, we were first long at 23. That's $3 win upside there on Palantir. We did cash out for the dollar right there, and then we hammered the long at 25. My largest Palantir position in a long time was taken right here on a 25 break. Man, did we love that. Fisker, hells to the yeah. Fisker back high side right now. We're into that one. We've only had 3 trades on right now. And my only losing trade is a long NEO 49.50, like face palm. Have you seen a bigger face palm, Brendan?
Never. Cation Auto, guys. We're talking about the weakness in the Chinese EV space. Look at this thing. 18% to the upside. They sell cars. They don't make them. Back to 880 here. Huge rip for KXIN, guys.
Oh, man. Thank you for the
crazy
calls.
one.
Someone just notified me there. Thank you so much for whoever that was on the chat. Where are you? I got to find you. Someone just said, what about those calls on JWN? You want to bang? You want to bang, guys? Okay, here it comes. And bang. We'll just do a little one for you today. We don't want to blow everyone out. But there it is, guys. There's the bang you guys are looking for. Space, Palantir. You guys want the bang. You got the bang. Someone said, what about your JWN calls? Hells to the yeah. If you followed me on that one, there you go. JWN to the high side. We're going to look to see the getting out of those calls right now as well, but I guess I'm doing it on the option side of things as well, guys.
Guys, Fisker top end move here. It's about to take out this 1850 area. Like I said, I'll take profit on that dip buy at 1840. A little bit out. I want to hold through a break. This is not one where you want to cover. It makes sense to me that off that Chinese EV space, you might see some money to go into Fisker, and then they got an upgrade anyway. So a couple of ways to have played this, both the pullback once pre-market here, or actually right at 930, and then the second one right into that breakout price, and there was a buyer at 56. So even if it gets back down there, I want to see if that buyer is still around that pre-market break price. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
All-time highs for Autodesk. Look at this thing. Wow, 260 up to 280. 7.5% for Autodesk this morning after earnings. They also increased their full year 21 forecast, guys.
Eyeballs are on this KXIN because I don't know why I wasn't watching this one. We've been obviously playing this one previously. Looking at that $10 area, we talked about that the last time we were looking at this stock, and It kind of feels like it was trying to get there, but you look at this hard rollover. This is exactly usually the consolidation I'd want, and it looks like it would be like a post-haul type thing. So 882 is the current high. I think you give it to 9, but 865 around that price would be your best bet. It does look like it's already going to the downside, so it is what it is. Fisker is the only thing I got left on. Of course, I'll always be short. I shouldn't say this. I'll always be short Sundial. But it is trying to make a bit of a push to the upside. I shorted this one in the pre-market very early. To go all the way back into like 7 o'clock when I first got in. I added some at about 7:50. It made one push to the upside, but I was busy with a few other names before taking this. I'll add to it in front of 28, and hopefully we'll get back to that 24, 25 cent price that I've been targeting the last few days on Sundial.
Here we go again, guys. Yeah, I just checked out. Congratulations. I paid 42 cents for those calls. Just got them out at $1. So $1.05, something like that. I just hit the bid and got those out. So you're welcome there. Noah, a couple grand there. Thank you so much for that. I had to get out of it. I'm not going to sit here and watch it. So we go 42 cents. The double's 84. You add a little bit more. So about 130% profit in one day. Spin it, guys. Thanks for everything. Let's keep this party going. What's up, Pete?
Some of the cruise lines just popping up here. 2.3% for Norwegian. Not seeing any news on this, but 23 broke there on a huge volume spike for NCLH, guys.
All right.
Always want to make sure, look, if it's that space, I'm not going to touch it without any kind of news for me. It's continuing to roll over down on YJ, so short the pop, not going to happen. It looks like the new bottom for me is going to be this 470 area. Well, sorry, the new level that I can short in front of it will be that 470 area. So if it gets any kind of a bounce, this thing is now negative on the session. So from a gapper to the upside to negative on the session, which is pretty crazy. Sean mentioned Nordstrom. We haven't talked about gap yet today. Yeah, this was me trying to fade into gap off of the open, and this is what happened when it broke that bottom. So the breakdown trade obviously was the way to go in gap. Now, I said it was very unlikely we'd get down towards this 2150 support, yet that's exactly where we've turned around so far at 2180. If it can hold 22, I guess I'm going long in gap despite wanting it short off the open. That's what happens when it goes 10% right away.
And now I'm addicted to watching this JWN to see how much further it's going to go. See if we're going to have another winner on that one. But okay, guys, Fisker, what a monster this one is. We're $1. Like, this is how we're trading today. We've basically only ever had 3 positions, and I've told you about all 3 of them. First one was Neo, which would be a monster. The second one is Fisker, which is a monster. So we're slaying these dragons, guys. I mean, I've just been on fire lately. Fisker right now up $1.13, still in the money, still have this trade as well. I think it's about time to get some of this out. We're looking at XPEV as well here on the high side. We'll see if we can get out of some XPEV. There it is, out of Fisker right now at 67. We'll hold that last little bit to see what happens. Good out here. Did we just get the high of the day there? 26, not almost. 26.31 we got out, or 30 or 29, whatever this is. High of the day, 39. So we just get that by a dime there on the Palantir trade. Man, like, everything today is just going so good. I need to really screw these trades up earlier and more often, because imagine if we had that. It's kind of like a good omen, everything else working out for us. Let's check back in on those JWN calls. I really hope. Oh, no, we sold them too early.
Fisker's on its way to 19. I know we're going to go to Brendan in just a quick second, but this previous top, this 1850 is where I'm looking for a trail. If it breaks 19, I'm going to put the trail on, so it's automatically just going to get me out if we go back before that previous high on Fisker. So still have that buy. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic one today. Brendan, what's up?
Looks like a little bit of news, guys, on Square. They're picking up Intuit's Credit Karma division for $50 million in cash. So Square, along with the Cash App from Square, going to have Credit Karma from Intuit. So just broke the high there from the pre-market on this one, 2.3%. Decent volume. We're just that close to recent highs for Square, guys.
Yeah, I love that Square. And again, another call. If you haven't been with us early or often enough, we made the Square call in the personal accounts as well, down 50s. I mean, that was an easy call. Who cares? Back in March, everybody's doing that. Okay, what's JPM doing right now as well? We're long sub 100 on this one, but for today, coming back in. Like the ES right now, looking to crack lower. We got to find some trades to put on here for you. So this is a JP Morgan right now, 120.75. Looking at yesterday, let's go to a 3-minute chart here. Maybe we can get a better chart. I just like JPM the way it trades. I just find that it trades a little bit better than some of those other banks. I think the weakest bank, obviously, Wells Fargo. You can look at that, but here's a nice little level right here. 120.70 held a couple times yesterday. It looks like we just broke it. 120.80. I'm going to go short right now using a small little stop on this one, but I don't like the action on the ES here.
Yeah, I just got the first little dip into that gap, and it held 21.80. That's not necessarily 21.50, but that's where my stop is going to be. So I have to refrain from adding to this position until it goes maybe a little bit lower. I do want to check back in on KXIN here. It just bounced off of VWAP and $8. It's coming right back up towards what would have been my target area the first time through, and I'm going to stick with it, like that 850 to 870. I called like 865 or so. So in the middle of that range, off of the current high of day, is where I'd like to be able to play KXIN. It's been a wild and crazy morning here, guys, but just about every single name, with I think the exception of KXIN, was on this watch list. And man, this is why we are going to 8:30 starting next week, so that we can cover some more of these and make sure you guys know the exact plan of action, because there were dip buys, there were breakouts, so much happening at once here at KXI, and I can't believe I missed it. I'm going to try and rectify that one if it gets right back to this 50-60 area.
Oh, man. 64.75 here, XPEV. I think an XPEV short is coming very soon. So let's watch out here. It looks like it wants to break back through VWAP. 64.75. Yeah, we're going to go short 64.75. What's up, B?
Note on Tesla here, guys. They're going to invest some money into China once again. They're going to build a charger factory, so electric car chargers. Some of the plug-in units, Tesla's going to start making them in China. So a bit of a pop on that from 548 up to 52, but coming right back down. Really hasn't done much today, guys.
Wasn't it Corsair? I do see everybody. I want to give a big thank you over here to, we already did Noah for the Nordstrom calls. Sorry about that. And then, of course, Rich Rucco, thank you so much there. Apologies on the name, but shout out to everybody there playing with us today. As Fisker, man, Neil, $1.50. Like, we are monsters.
It's just, it's still through that 19. I mean, at some point,
we're long. Like,
yeah, 20 could come into play here, and I just feel like when that news hit, the potential investigation, it's nothing that's in any of those names, like NIO and XPeng. It's not necessarily officially in them, but if Fisker didn't move to the upside as much as these others last few days, why not catch that one for the long? It made sense yesterday, made sense today.
Yep, exactly. So that's why we hammered this. We hammered this with big time conviction down here at 1760 off that break. And I want to give a shout out to the audience who did mention to us, hey man, look at Fisker. That could be a possibility off of the poor Chinese EV play back over there to Fisker. We're out of Palantir as it breaks back down below 25. What a fantastic trade that was. I hope a lot of you guys got out of that. Don't hold. We've seen Fisker, or we've seen Palantir do that day after day after day. The same exact move. Rips to the high side. We can look at that from yesterday, right? It's the same move, guys, every day here on Palantir. You know, big move up. I mean, even off the open here. Yesterday is a big move down before retracement. The same thing happening today. A couple days ago was a very, very similar play. We didn't hold enough to get out on the hop side, but our best outs basically 25.60 there. We'll go long again, but not right now, as Palantir just made brand new highs there. Great, beautiful trade on the 52-week there. JP Morgan, we are short 120.68. It's at 61, so we're doing it again. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, looks like Monday for this one. JFIN, just noticed another Chinese name popping up here this morning. 30% for this one. JFIN, big move up to 450 here. They're going to report on Monday. They came out after market yesterday talking about their current quarter forecast, which was way better than expected. So big move for JFIN, guys. Okay,
so got the short over there in KXI, and it didn't quite get this ad at 70s, but I was able to get 56 short. It came back down to view up again, so I took some profit at 820. Quick 35-cent scalp. Thank you very much for the reload. We're going to need it today, guys. Lots of activity in the market. If we break this 810 to 8 area, I actually have a target down here, and it seems crazy for a buck, but look, this all started at KXIN at $7, so it's a $2 move to the upside. You know, a $1 move back isn't exactly ridiculous in my estimation. Fisker approaches that $20 area, so for me, I'm used to the backflip, so why not just hit it? I would love to do the same thing. So
back backflips.
Great minds think alike. Neither one of us can do it for real. If I see a $20 move,
I could do it.
I got to get out here. You know, it's multiple buys. Dip buy we talked about. The breakout buy worked. The worst trade was actually the breakout at 18 for me. The dip at 17.60, probably the best one, into like that 20 mark. I'm not shorting Fisker yet, but there's probably a point at which, I mean, this is... It's a bit much. It's a bit much at this point, and $20 is a psychological level. Yeah, if it goes up there, and I didn't get a chance to see the level 2, I didn't see how much size there was. I just got out in the 80s there because that was a bit of a target here.
Yeah,
so.
I'll look to get out of Fisker at some point as well, but we do got to hit the bang because there's XPEV, guys. Big break there, 64.70. Out some at 50 there for 25 cents, and then out again at 20 there for 60 cents. So back-to-back wins right now on XPEV as we hold that. Good out there. That goes all the way to 20, Neil. Great out as it bounces off 20. Like you said, I don't know what the size was, but that was a great out there on Fisker.
We don't have Fisker shorts.
You're short there now?
We don't have
Yeah, you
them.
probably got to pay for those. Good opportunity there to get short. We have a light position. We've cashed out a lot on Fisker already, so we're going to wait for that one. We did take JPM out a little bit there at 60. We did see a buyer there at 60 in a refresher. It goes only down to 50 before bouncing back to the downside, so we're going to wait on that one. XPEV now making moves to the low side. Here we are short this name. I do have another bid. Yeah, let's hit that. 1K likes already. Hot dogs for you. Hot dogs for everybody. And if you have the trades today, man, you're not buying hot dogs, you're buying lobsters today, and it's just been another day.
If you can
we
find
did it
them.
yesterday. I was at the highest point yesterday early, and we're doing it again today. And here we go, guys, 4 for 4, including, 4 for 4 pending JPM.
I don't know why I made the assumption. I don't know why I assumed that we had free locates on Fisker, but that's all on me. I mean, the 20 came around. I was able to get out. There was time to get short here at 1950 off that 20 area. I do have them now, and they weren't even that expensive. It was like 4 cents a share. So well worth it. I got them in play. If there's any kind of a pullback, I'll try to get into this position. But I might have missed what could end up being obviously fantastic short, already like a 75 to $1 from the top here on Fisker. It's already 10 o'clock, guys. That means happening now with Brennan.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. Pretty mixed so far. S&P is negative. The Dow as well, 0.5%. If you remember yesterday, we did get above 30,000 for the first time, or closed above 30,000 for the first time. Back below it here, 29,800 and change. The NASDAQ positive though, 0.4% there for the NASDAQ 100. The Russell back in negative territory, 0.6%. Here in Toronto, pretty quiet so far, 0.2%. Same story down in Brazil. If you're joining us watching along on the BOVESPA, a few things to keep an eye on from the watch list, guys. If you haven't done so, grab that watch list, guys. Absolutely free. YJ on that watch list today. What a move this was. I totally missed it. $6 down to 4. We're bouncing into 4.5. It's struggling already at 4.5, so I have to hurry up because I might have to get involved in YJ. Let's talk about Canada Goose. I mentioned this 37 area. Still kind of sitting here, but looking strong. If it gets above 37, it was up at 39 at the close yesterday. Double downgrade for Canada Goose. Here's $7 on this one, ANPC. I mentioned 750. It did fail there, but you can see big time level here, 650 to 7 for ANPC. Guys, back to you.
Man, that JWN, congratulations to anybody on that one. I left, a lot of money on the table. Sorry about that. On this call, we had the $27 calls, man. We bought them for 42 cents. It's now huge in the money. I think they're about $1.50 or so. We sold them at $1.05, so missed out that, but still, we'll take 130% in one day on JWN calls. Notice I went with JWN and not GPS. Should have gone with GPS shorts, but puts, but I didn't have the conviction on the GPS, but I did have it on the JWN, so congratulations to people following me on that call as well. And now XPEV, man, 54 cents in the money and still going downside here. So yeah, we're huge on this one. Not as big as we should be, but we're going to wait to see, man. It just touches down. Did that happen? 63.50? Okay. Where's my bid there? I didn't get filled. 63.17. So we'll put a bid around the 50 mark. See if that happens one more time. I dare you, XPEV.
What an unbelievable pullback of Fisker is making here. Now, this top, the 18 break top stalled out at 1850. We're pulling right back into that level. I think if it catches any kind of a bid down here, I got to take a shot at it. Obviously, this I would have taken some out at 1920 or so on the first leg down, and 100% I would already be out in front of 1850 on that short. Didn't pay for the locates fast enough, so I'm without it. But I'm now looking to go back into the long already. Just a couple of minutes later. Volatility is here. It doesn't seem to matter that it's a holiday tomorrow. If you're in the EV space, there's definitely a lot of moves to be had. Now I'm looking Fisker back to the long side if it can hold that 1850 area. That previous breakout failed at that price. I like resistance turning into possible support, and it just came back $1.30 in a couple of minutes. So if it overextended upside, it might have just overextended back to the downside as well.
Okay, guys. Okay, there we go, guys. Look at this. I just want to give another explosion of cash because look what's JP Morgan. We just took some out at 50, man. We're short at 70, 68. So that was a good trade there. Some out downside, so we'll hit a chicken dinner winner for everything today as we go 5 for 5. We go Fisker, we go JP Morgan, we go NEO, we go Palantir, and then we go XPEV. So NEO now back to day's high here. Watch out, and that's making me a little nervous on this XPEV. Are out here. We've just taken profits, good ones too. So I've given you up to 66 now is where we'll get out. If it comes back to this level, 66 and change, we'll get out of XPEV. Otherwise, we'll see if it can follow all the way back down. Welcome to everybody today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are a first time with us here, we are coming up, guys, at, this is the video that's coming. No, it's not. Video's number 1. At 1 p.m., we're going over these 5 topics. Come back and join us live at 1. It's not the same format. We won't be trading, but we will be watching. Okay, get that off. We will be watching XPEV as now it just makes another move to the downside. I'm still bidding in here in the 60s. Let's see if XPEV can make that move downside. Fisker making moves, JP Morgan making moves, and we go 5 for 5. What's up, B?
Just checking on JFrog here. I was just going to double check their earnings date, but big move here for, remember, a recent IPO. This one, Frog, up 7.8%. This was, what day was this? September 16th. So we're back above $64 here for JFrog, guys.
So the bounce on Fisker, I'm supposed to hit yeehaw if we get a winning trade out of after Brendan. I actually had an order to get out of the second half of this Fisker dip buy, which was at 67, at 19.25 or so. I got some for a 25-cent scalp, and then the rest out right in front of 19, but quickly put the order in, so it got coded a short sell, even though I am flat. You can see I don't have the long anymore. Maybe it's going to be a bigger bounce, but there's just a lot of sell action coming in here. There wasn't anything obvious on the level 2, except for the fact there was a wall at 19 even, and even when it broke, just really didn't catch too big of a bid on the other side of it. So I'm going to be out of Fisker for now. It's been, for me, the best stock so far today. Brendan, what's up now, buddy?
Here's part of the reason, anyways, for JFrog. They announced they're going to early release of 25% of the lockup from the IPO. So an early release. This ties in to what Sean was just talking about. Coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon, guys, we're going to talk about lockup periods for IPOs, what that means to the stock, and how we can potentially form a trade around that. But yeah, JFrog releasing 25% of the lockup early, guys.
Yeah, so good one, and thanks for bringing that up, Brendan. That is what are going to be our topic today, is that lockup period. We are going to get out some now. It's bounced around a little bit too much here at 64 even, so we are going to put a bid here and get out if we can get some low 64s here on XPEV. It's been a good short. It just hasn't really gone. There was just one move where it went, so now we'll see if it breaks through 30, and then we'll take some out below that. I don't know. Like, why is it resisting? Why is this 30 being sort of a support level here? I don't know why, but we're going to wait to see. Here it comes. There we go. So we take more out right there, 24s or 21, something like that. Now let's watch XPEV fall down to hopefully to the ground, even lower than that. JPM 120.47. This one's starting to make moves back to the upside. We may just get out of this one and let the winners ride and let the losers, make their moves the other way. So here goes JP Morgan to the upside. Still a winning stock, but it's got its legs here on the market.
Yeah, and it might turn into a, like I already did a get out of all longs in Fisker, but just got a quick and accidental short. And whenever that happens, guys, you always just want to make sure you get out of it. So I'm going to have to pay up just a little bit on this name. And again, I did have a stop for this long when I first took it. Unfortunately, when I took the profit out, I left that stop in, so we'll give a little bit back on Fisker. It does feel relatively weak to me, and I feel like when it extends that far, it's not the same thing as KXIN, which I want to get back to here because it's doing a similar pattern. I think Fisker, I like the long in general a little bit better. It probably goes without saying. But this one looking just as weak. I'm going to hang on to this short, whereas accidental short in Fisker could be good. I'm not going to hold. But I am holding KXIN for that dollar win. If it makes another test to the upside, maybe stalls out at 850 or so, another lower high, I'd probably look to get some more shares back in that I can scalp in front of the $7.80 to $8 range where it's holding currently. The last one to get to, just to update you guys, I do still have that gap. I was able to add one more time right around 22. It is still holding the bottom. The market's starting to come back in just a little bit. I say just a little bit because we're down 0.4% on the ES and we're basically flat on the NASDAQ, but we are headed southbound. If gap breaks the low, 2150 is that big level that I was looking at on the daily chart. Let's see if it can hold up. The gap is obviously big in GPS here, so let's see if it can potentially fill a little bit of that.
And yeah, man, like, how huge are we, guys, on these JWN calls? I really hope some of you had it. I saw one of our viewers there made a couple grand on it. I did not make a couple grand, but we did good on it regardless. Long 42 cents, out $1.05 there this morning on JWN on the $27 calls. And yeah, now they're just rocking and rolling. I don't even want to know what they're at now, but congratulations to anybody that has that. XPEV does go for us, $1 into the money there. And when we don't take it, get greedy again. It bounces off 63.50 a couple times. We're going to put a bid in there. Make sure we capture some profit, Brendan. You can't get too greedy.
Never, no. Another big mover, guys, from the past couple of sessions. We've been talking about Longview acquisition, another SPAC. 1, 2, 3, 4 days to the upside here, straight higher to 18 bucks, but looks like it's failing here at 17.5, already rolling over, but watch 17, but 17.5, bit of an area here for LGVW.
Yeah, no, just to clarify, I just throw it in the chat. Someone was asking, I thought you said you couldn't short Fisker. Now, we didn't have any free shorts here at Daytrader with the short Fisker, but I was able to pay for them. Now, I should have obviously, I knew I was going to trade the stock today, so I could have checked to see if we had the locates and then just been prepared and paid for those in the pre-market, which I usually do. I've had to do that in Sundial a couple of times here, but in the case of Fisker, I didn't check until it was turning over at 20, so I got out of the long, didn't get into the short. Speaking of short trades, IDEX, Ideonomics, this price here, the only thing I was really concerned with on the stock, $2.90 to $3. You had a previous top and a breakout at that price a couple of days ago, and then also yesterday, the start of the break, consolidation here, pre-market high, just tested it back to the upside. The stock is down. It's SSRs, you're shorting into pops. Now I'm getting consolidation off of that top. All means I'm looking to go short. Now, 290 to 3 even is a bit of a target area to get out. So a 290 stop isn't ridiculous because it did stall out here at least once in the open market. 3 even is sort of that sweet spot, pre-market high, and then you go back a couple of days. So big levels on Ideonomics. I'm going to be jumping into the short on this name rather shortly off of those two resistance areas.
All right, yeah, some people tweeting at me some messages about Palantir, and again, guys, just thank you so much for all the kind words there. And I just want our viewers to make money, and if they can do that, get educated, make a little bit of money on the side. Hey, it's a fantastic job. I'm glad to have it, and I'm glad to be here with you guys. And I know Brendan is as well, and he's over at the big board right now. Oh my God, that's Fastly. Let's go over there. I'm going to look at Fastly. I haven't looked at that name in a bit. Upgrades and downgrades with Brendan.
Yeah, a couple on here that we were mentioning over the past couple of weeks. Fastly on this side of things today. If you're joining us for the first time, upgrades on this side, downgrades over there. We saw this one on the imbalance locator just before the open there. Ford as well on a downgrade. This one had earnings earlier in the week. Best Buy to the upside today, 2%. Earnings were actually okay, but remember it was the holiday forecast that was kind of skeptical or a little bit weak. F5 and Dollar Tree, one from yesterday, getting an upgrade today as well. Canada Goose, the big one, Gap at the bottom there as well. Yeah, not good for GPS. This is Best Buy straight higher. If you remember, yeah, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Big move down, 124 all the way to 114. $10 move yesterday, but back to the upside. 114 on the way back to maybe 124 for Best Buy, about 2.5% so far. Canada Goose, we mentioned this kind of 37 area becoming a problem. It did test above it, but look at that, right back down. So it needs to hold above 37, I think, for Canada Goose. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Another one that you mentioned here, that MTC did get not quite to $3, but did get to like 280. Sorry, just shy of 280, 277. Excuse me. It's now back below this the VWAP price here. Pre-market top break was at 230. Previous support. It's now consolidating below that price. So 230 seems like a reasonable stop for me. Once they get below VWAP, test a significant level up. It's close enough to 3 to activate for me. Thank goodness I wasn't feeling that short in Fisker because going back up, guys. So I got quickly out of that short. I didn't like it. I will get into this MTC. I did get Ideonomics starting at 280. I like that 290 to 3 even area for an area stop. I'd rather have it on the corner of my eye, have a level 2 up. I don't necessarily love on stocks that are so liquid to just put a hard stop in there. So I am going to watch it myself and then control the price action and control the trade on my own.
Okay, we have XPEV right now, 75 cents in the money right now. We're out of fiscal, we're out of everything, and it's a clean sweep today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 on that one, including the JWN call, which has been fantastic. Palantir's been a good one for us for a while. XPEV, again, I don't even have any bids here. It's going to crack this and it's going to go lower. That's my call. So we're going to wait for 63.50 to crack, and then hopefully we'll be down here 61 and change. But here it comes, man. We're short 64.75. This right now, guys, is $1 in the money. So there we go. We still have some of that on, but it looks like it's going to bounce now 1, 2, 3 times. Am I that stubborn? Yes, probably I am. I do want to get a little bit of revenge on NEO. We were hella long down here at 49. Like, look how much, you guys know I don't average in that often, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So that's how many shares we had. Was a big one. We got wicked out there. It wasn't even open, the market. I shouldn't have put the stop order in. So even though I do have these 18 years apparently of experience, not apparently, I do have them, but it doesn't look like it sometimes. What's up, Sheriff? Thank you so much for coming on board, and thank you so much for Rick BSU. What up? Thank you so much. What are those strawberries? What are those? Good little position there, and Icon, I guess they're called. Okay, just want to go for NEO. We're going to go short here. That's why we talked about this 50-50. Let's see what happens when 50-50 breaks. We're going short on NEO, guys.
Just added to my MTC position there. It just started to roll over a little bit, so I wanted to make sure I didn't miss the party. If this consolidates further, I can just take more and more to my target entry. That 22.30 is going to be a bit of a level here. That's why I'm going to have a harder stop in and around that price. Of course, VWAP does loom large. Now, when it comes to gap, and this pun is a horrible one, let's quickly see if we can't, for perspective, go to the 15-minute chart. This is the level I'm sort of working off of. You look at this like 2150-ish previous breakout, some consolidation a couple days in a row going into the close at that price, and then a previous bottom here right at that 2150. So you get a gap fill like this. If it takes out the low, fair enough, but you got to be willing to risk about like 50 cents to $1 off of this trade. If it does break to the upside, it's not going to take much for it to get back to this 23 to 23.50 area if it does try to fill that gap. So risk to reward, you got to consider this one on a higher time frame. A 1-minute chart probably not going to give you this look. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Another one, guys. Blink charging was very, very weak off of the open. Not necessarily connected to the Chinese news story when it comes to the EV space, but trying to bounce here at 24.50. If you go back to the daily chart here, this 24.50 was definitely a little pivot over the past couple of days. So watch 24.50 here for Blink. Yeah, 12.5% to the downside for this one too, guys.
Okay, I mean, lots of names rocking and rolling today. Look, I don't know what I'm going to do with this XPEV. It doesn't seem like it wants to go where I want it to go. So that's like 3 times it's bounced off 63.60 or 63.50-ish. So that's disturbing to me just a little bit here. And it should have gone, I think, a couple of those times. So the fact that it didn't is a little bothersome. We are going to go short again, 63.50. If that happens, we'll get out, and then we'll watch out for this in the level 64.75. That's right where we're short. I'm giving this one back to 66. But I might be digging my own grave on this one. It doesn't look like it wants to do anything here at all, which reminds me, we'll go back to our NEO. Yeah, see, like this one started to go. It almost came to that 50-50 level there before breaking and not. So that was a good little spot. Look, these drop downs have been pickup spots here for NEO. Every single time we drop down, it's hit bottoms, lows, and then ripped back up. So NEO right now looking like a nice little long, as long as it can hold this 50-50, which is why we like the short there.
Speaking of digging graves, Naked Brands is actually up today, believe it or not. Now, I've been shorting Sundial the last couple of days. It all started with Naked Brands on this particular, let's zoom in on the 15-minute. That's a little too far for you guys. It all started here on the 20th when this was an obvious short. We got the 26th break. We were able to short that price, off of that price the following day. If this wants to continue this move up, I'm eyeballing yesterday's top, 22 to 23, which was also consolidation the day before where I had a good short. So I still like the south side of these trades. When it's gone multiple days parabolic, I start thinking about reversing direction. You can't ignore the fact that 16 is held. Every time I've been short, it's been a bit of a termination price, and that's been as far as I've been able to get on Naked Brands. So no matter what, if it gets down there, I have to at least consider both being flat and maybe a long trade, which I haven't done yet on this name. And I'm looking for 22, 23. It's only halfway there, so I'm not going to jump into that short just yet, but I am adding to my Sundial short because it's starting to move up as well.
Okay, yeah, Sundial. Yeah, you were loving Sundial yesterday as well. So I think that might be your favorite stock probably for right now. Would that be correct?
Well, I mean, if you're shorting, it's just, look, it's easier to short penny stocks, right? And
Yeah,
I've had, you gotta look at your own results. when I short like ACB, it never works. I always lose money. But
ACB
you know, Sundial just made a heck of a lot more sense. So we went over to that name. We're able to make some money doing it. And I think that's what you got to do. And yes, ACB is sexier to trade. There is no question about that. I agree with you guys. But I'll pick on Sundial all day, every day. Today, I should go over to this MTC. I did tell you guys I was rolling into a bit of a short. I got one more fill here, so I have added a couple of times. 222 is my average price. 230 is going to be the out. I will take some off in front of $2, obviously, because that's both 10% and a psychological level. So I'm going to get some bids out on that one. Brendan, what's up?
Kodak. Going into the holiday, why not have some Kodak action today? 8.75%. Just made a day high here, guys, on big time volume. The only thing I can find on this, apparently the U.S. government has agreed to a $1.1 billion loan to a company called Ginkgo Bioworks for some vaccine, or not vaccine related work, but they're going to make ingredients for vaccines. So that's kind of the same thing that, you know, the loan initially for Kodak was for. So if you remember way back when, that's still under investigation, by the way, by the SEC, but the government coming up with another option, apparently, from Kodak, guys.
So Kodak supposed to be getting a loan that they're not necessarily going to get. Someone else is given a loan. And I think, and I said this the last time, we even did a video on this, there is nothing wrong with that fundamental pivot you know, from film to the making of chemicals for vaccines. I mean, it's been done before. It slips my mind, but what is the name of the Japanese film company? Fuji. Fuji did this as well. So they've made that pivot. So all makes tons of sense to me. But this news moving Kodak up, I mean, and we're right into last week's top at 766. Please turn right here, but not before I can actually get some locates on this, because that's just overdone. I think if it turns right here off last week's top or anywhere close to it, I'll be shorting on Kodak. I don't think that's, unless there's an update specifically for Kodak, that's still too rich.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, so we just talked a little bit about cannabis there. I like this 1866 up here, this break. We got to take out this bottom and then this wick. So if we do get ACB, we'll be hammering on that as well to the long side. 866, 865. I mean, you can go long now if you want, but it has to break VWAP, which is right here, but that's not significant enough. I use VWAP, guys, but you use it in conjunction with other things. So I want to see a break, and that's not clean enough. There is this top right here, 858. So you could use 858 as a nice spot there for ACB, but I would rather wait on ACB and see what we can do on that one for the upside there. So that's been a good trade today, just to the short side. I did want to check on CGC, of course. This is the one that I've talked about and the one I got my father into as well. So he was pretty happy. He wasn't happy when it was going downside. But now that CGC is back to 52-week highs, we could take some levels out. But again, cannabis today doesn't seem to be as hot as we'd like it to be. So we're going to wait on that one. Okay, XPEV making the moves down now again. This is just a 3-minute chart. We've seen it hit this a bunch of times. Let's put this down to a 1 minute for you just to give a quick look. We are still short XPEV. Like, look at how many times. I mean, it looks like 3 times, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like all in here, 6, 7, multiple times here. 63.50 has been an issue. We are going to get out if it comes back down here and then go short again if it does break 63.50. So that's my new plan of action. Get a bid in the 60s, take some out, then take more if it breaks 50. And here it comes, guys. Good trade here on XPEV.
So Kodak making a test of that top. I always like to round up, so 775 or so. It looks like it's going to go. If I lose on this short, I will probably try it again at some point, but I always try a tighter stop here just to make sure you don't get blown out of the water and get a halt. I don't want to get caught in a halt of Kodak. I think anyone that was watching this the last time it pushed the upside, you really don't want that to happen to you. So I got 60 as an average price here, so I can maybe lose about like 20 to 25 pennies on this, and then that's going to be it. It's one of those situations where I like to have the hands off the keyboard just to make sure you don't make a bit of a mistake there. Change your stop, adjust your line of thinking when you're not supposed to. If it blows me out, fair enough, I'll take the hit. Thankfully, we'll still be up on the day, but I will try Kodak one more time. This does not make a heck of a lot of sense to me. So even if it continues up, it'll just be another short I'm putting on a little bit later, let's be honest with you guys. So if 75 goes on Kodak, I will take my hit, actually accidentally get long, which I don't want, so I'll get out for a penny. And then just going to come back to some of these other names. I have to go back to Gap. If Kodak gets to like 850 or so, maybe we'll have a look at another run to the downside. I'd love it even more if it halted, but for now, I got to go with flushing down the toilet. If I see Kodak make a move to the upside, I'm probably going to fade it. Gap is still holding the bottom. And this is why I went to the high time frame. This low at 2180, not really concerned with it. You go back into this 15-minute chart, and this is the level we're looking at, that 2150. I still have room to add a little bit more to the position. I haven't done just yet, but you can actually see this if you can. That line down there, that's not me drawing a support line. That's actually a bid I have on gap in front of that 2150. So I'm still looking to add a little bit to that gap. The last entry point will be just below, just in front of that 2150 area in the mid-60s. Yeah, time for the small cap recap, and one that I am going to regret for the rest of the day, because how do I miss the stock that I traded at 7 a.m.? Brennan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's talk small cap world. We were mentioning this one in the pre-market. Let's see what happens here. YJ, yeah, big move down from $6 all the way to 4. Remember, we bounced off of 4. So if you go to the daily chart, you can kind of see there was a high, or it was actually the close from yesterday around 535 to 540. So if you go back to yesterday afternoon, and then the close was right at 530 to 540. So just watching this area now, I'm going to try it in front of that 540 area. But big move down, showed weakness right away as well, which is good to see. MTC did get me out of some above. I was using 55, 250 to 255. Did get all the way up there to 80, so did get me out of some. But giving that back to 255, we'll see if we can't get down to where we started the day in the pre-market, 150 on the way back down. Last but not least, ANPC still kind of waiting on this. I want to see it retest anywhere in this kind of neighborhood of 745 to 750, and then fail at that point, and then start to roll over for ANPC. Guys, back to you.
All right. We are going to take a little sip here of water. Okay, just an update. We are in here in the 80s now on XPEV, so we will take some out for the dollar win if it does come. Like I said, looked at this just too many times, and here it goes again. Damn it, like all I need to do is just adjust my order like 10 cents and I'm out of this. Numerous times we could reload the trade. But again, I feel like I'll be giving up the ghost here if I get out of this short. But the idea is to re-engage in the short down here anyways if we do break back below 63.50. So here we come. Just one more push. Give me this push into the 80s. Bang, there it is. Nice little dollar winner right there. So we're hide your eyes as we go here. Nice little win as we go 6 for 6 now. No, sorry, still 5 for 5. Fisker, JP Morgan, Neo, Palantir. Look at Palantir. And now XPEV joining the party. But Palantir right now doing its little dance, guys. Watch out for this break one more time. One time, 25.80. We go long on that break again if that does happen. Actually, maybe even 25.70 long coming up on PLTR. And what a good out that was again here. I'm so happy that I took some out. Now I can sort of breathe with a sigh of relief as we sit here and now only hold that 20% of XPEV and took out that profit, guys.
Yeah, and look, I'm back into Kodak. It actually turned off at 8 even, so forget about 850, 792. Trying another shot here, we'll give it to that $8 mark. And again, if I see that kind of a move, I'm always going to fade. Unless I see something a little bit more concrete in terms of news, just going to jump right back in when I get a bit of sell action on that name. Now, IDEX, this one, also in this name, and it is starting to work down in the money for me. But I'm not really looking to cover anything until it gets below VWAP. Maybe starting to test towards that 250 mark. It is short sell restricted, so harder for people to get actively short, and it's just grinding to the downside right now. So for the time being, I'll sort of look at like 10, 15 cents and say I'm willing to forgive and not take that profit just because I think I can get the bulk of it a little bit better than that on Ideonomics. I know the volatility in this name has been pretty good, so there is a decent shot, and just giving an idea on a higher time frame here, there's a decent shot that if it's going to roll over, good chance that we're right back into this chop range at 250, 260. So why shortchange myself, guys? All
right, so we're out of XPEV there on a break of 64.50. Wow, nice little trade. Yes, so barbecuing up the profits. We did have chicken drumsticks last night on the barbecue. It was okay, a little cold out there. It's more about the wind when you're barbecuing, guys, not about the weather. The barbecue is literally just outside the patio, so we go in and out there, but it was a fun time. And that last night was a chicken dinner winner, so a little spicy. We put some piri piri sauce on it. Shout out to all of my Portuguese friends out there with the piri piri, about the only Portuguese thing that we have, although Portuguese fish is pretty nice. PLTR here, ripping to the high side. We're gonna wait, man. This 25.70, I think that's a good spot for us. I think we could go even harder if it gets to 26 again. So we're gonna wait for 25.70 on this name. FCell, another one moving around here and doing a ton of volume on a day like today, and also through all week, through the last month or so, FCell's just gone crazy here. We'll refresh it. If you ever see an NQ, that's NASDAQ. If you see an NY, like JP Morgan will be NY, then you know it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So, and then I think Neil has a couple AMs. That's NYSE ARC, NYSE American, and or Amex. Go with whatever you want. I'm going to find out the official name on that. Maybe Brendan can. I think it's NYSE American right now.
I think it's NYSE American. I don't know. Any
here,
trader that's been trading for a while.
Just 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. We'll go back and forth. FCell, I do like this break of 8. Are you in FCell yet today, Neil?
I should be, but I'm not. I was looking at Fuel Tech instead of FCell, and it was probably a bit of a mistake because the relative strength in Fuel Cell was obvious. Fuel Cell was only down a few percent, and FTech was down 20%. So I took a breakout trade in Fuel Tech and then lost on it. It was only about 15 pennies or so. But you make the same play at the same time in Fuel Cell, you get a clean move, like a 5% move towards the top. Obviously, that's come and gone. So I'm doing the good thing here, which is not chase it. If you miss an opportunity, you don't have to pay up. If it gets back down to like this 740, starts to put in some higher lows. 767 is previous close, so I think you get into that range there, bounce off 40 again, pick it up right around VWAP, and then give it like 25 pennies, and then maybe Fuel Cells continuing to the upside. Relative strength matters when you're tracking a lot of names in a space. Today it worked with Fisker. Saw some pullback in the EV space, and Fisker looked like the strong one, so played that to the long side. That worked. Should have done the same thing over here with Fuel Cell relative to FTech.
Okay, we are going to go long a little bit here on NEO, but it's making me want to do this as we were hella long down here at 49.50, and it just makes me want to throw up now that we get back to 52 at day's high. Let's go long, man, on a 52 break, just small. We'll test it out. I'm not in love with the longs, but I'm also not going to fight what everyone loves right now, and that's EV space, and that's NEO, man. It should break through 52. We'll take a small long through 52, and then the out will be like 51.50-ish. We'll only give it about 50 cents. I think we can get at least 50 cents. Throw it to whoever that was. Was that Neil, Brendan, Valeria? Brendan, what's up?
Genworth Financial, big tumble here, just halted on the downside. This is news pending. So a huge fall here from 445 down to 395. Halted again, guys, for GNW. On news pending. I'll let you know as soon as anything comes out on that one. Valeria's watching what's going on over in Europe this morning, but an hour left only over in Europe. V, what's up?
Hey Brendan, European shares are trading lower today. Virgin Money UK is down around 4% after lender reported a fall in annual profit. Back to you.
Yeah, busy one over in Europe as well. Guys, back over to you.
Just threw it in the chat here, but I'm on the charts. Might as well talk about it here. I'm getting back into Kodak, and it's that consolidation, which always looks a little bit better if you get that sideways action. If it goes down towards this, I guess, like third, fourth breakout, whatever you want to call it, around the 750 area in VWAP, definitely take some profit there. Certainly, you did have the pullback into 30 to 40, somewhere around there. And I actually, I'm going to hold on to like 10%, maybe even a little bit more than that if I get a shot at that $7 where it initially did break out. And if something new comes in to update this story, fair enough, but until I see something, I'm going to stick with this one to the south side. Still going down here on IDEX. And one thing I didn't say is if it came back up and retested 290 and fell, I would add to this position. I just haven't had a chance to be able to do that on the Ideanomic short. Okay,
so tale of two trades here. Palantir. Bang! Another win on Palantir, guys, as we continue to slay that dragon. 25.70 long. And I said it wasn't going to be a huge trade. It's not. But we'll still take the 15 cents, and we're taking it out. The reason why we say a battle of two trades there, NEO does break, but then stops, and we did get out a little bit there. So now we're holding a very, very small piece of NEO, still long 52. But if you look, there it is here. It broke. It only went to 10 and then came right back down. And again, this is how I trade, guys. So trying to stay disciplined here. We get out of the majority, 96, 97, and then a little bit on a 90 break. We're not going to hold this one, but we will hold Palantir, which is now 20 cents into the money. And hells yeah, the backflips continue. I said we would try to break now at 26. So what a great trade this was on Palantir, man. Lining it up and knocking them out again. Palantir for the win, guys. The only problem with this NEO is it's going to the downside, approaching that 51.50 like we talked about.
it shouldn't happen. Shouldn't forget to celebrate something. Well, Catapult, because I haven't used this one in a while. But KXIN did get to my target. Now, obviously, when I see Kodak, I get excited. So I went over to that name. We did get our target down here at 760. So the rollover worked on KXIN. Thankfully, we did catch this one. I missed a similar trade in Fisker at 20. But this one gave you the pullback. So even if you didn't get it here when I first talked about it at 865, if you're patient, it bounces off VWAP. It gives you the same entry price here at 56. So you have to pay down about 10 cents or so. Take some out in front of VWAP for a 30-cent win. Take the rest out for a $1 winner on KXIN. So thank you, Brendan, for mentioning this stock. I know we've been trading it the last few sessions. I had forgotten about it till it went parabolic. Brendan, what's up?
Oh, God.
Another one on earnings, guys. Tyson Foods, TSN. Not sure how I missed this one, but just made a day high. Nice volume coming in as well through 65.20 for TSN. Now positive, was negative earlier, guys.
Okay, good. All right, yeah, so there's Palantir, guys. We're out again. We have that 10% left, of Palantir, and we did not want to make a mistake there. We got out all near 26, a couple outs there. Not 26, 93s, 98s, 97s. Our last out there, 93. So double outs there, and now we'll wait for 26 to break, and we're going to go long 26 again. So that's going to come up. Hopefully that'll come through soon. We did just get out of a little bit more of our NEO. We're now holding that 10% as well. So we'll get out if that one breaks back down through 51.50. This trade could still be profitable. We're not out of a whole hell of a lot here. Most of it, again, this is like 10, 20, 40, 60%. No, sorry, the other way around. 20, 40, 60, 80% out there. Our worst out is 20 cents. So that's going to be a little bit of a knock. If NEO doesn't go high side, then we will obviously not be winning on that one. And now XPEV, there's our out, 64.57. I still like this short, and I have an order to go short here, guys. 63.50 if XPEV does come in. Nice to see Walmart rocking and rolling. Nice to see Shopify rocking and rolling today. And then Nikola, wow, down a little bit. We don't want to miss this name. We talked about it in our pre-market. One thing that we didn't talk about too much today. Look, we are going to 8:30 next week, but more importantly, if you're not part of our morning movers, you should be. So that's about all I'll say there. You can see here, watch us on YouTube every day as well. You're doing that right now, but there's Gap, there's JWN. That was a monster return there, about a 300% return on the options call that I made there. Nikola here as well, and EV stock. So that's what reminds us of Nikola here. So get it. Watch list.tradertv.live. Miss V will be happy to post that link in said chat.
Yeah, good look there. And just a quick tour over to one of the names. That's a horrible pun. I don't know why I said it. Brendan brought this one to my attention, or our attention, yesterday. But I'm just watching another push to the upside. This was a penny stock. You did see the move yesterday, and it's just as big of a parabolic move again. And it's not that I hunted for something. It just happened to show up on my quote board as a big time mover. So take a nice little drink, gotta hydrate. I haven't done enough myself. I look at my water and it's still full. I like $4 here, both psychologically. There's also been some bids, and I've been watching it the last couple of minutes here. Been some bids that are just stacking up in front of that 4. So if they get taken out, it does feel like this has some room to come back in. I'm not touching it just yet. Kodak is still going sideways. I'm not doing any celebrations. Someone said in the chat, oh, Kodak's rolling over. No, if it breaks 750, it's rolling over. If it holds 750, I'm in trouble. So it needs to come back to the downside. I mean, look at this. It just tried to break to the downside, and then someone stepped up, marketed to 80, and then put 80,000 shares, check that, 80,000 shares on the bid, and then took the fill. That wasn't even fake size. I mean, I don't know if you could rewind it if you want to, but that was on the tape. Someone actually took that fill up there at 780. So, yeah, there's still some buying going on here in Kodak. I mean, even added a bit at 60s. I'll add one more time. Actually, I can add a couple times here if I want to, and I would like to. It's just, you don't see that very often. It starts to roll over, starting to get confident about it. I even take a few more shares, and then someone markets up and then shows everything they're willing to buy 25 cents higher. If that doesn't send the stock to the upside, this has got to be good. That was crazy. I'm glad you guys saw that in level 2. It's the kind of thing you have to be concerned about when you are trading in these names. It might seem like it's thin. You look at this like a few thousand shares here or there. Believe me, 8 million, people are throwing around larger orders. A lot of times you'll see it in the dark. So dark prints will come through. A good portion of that fill was lit, but certainly some of that was also in the dark. It was down to like 60,000 when that print came off, and the print was like 79. So at least 20,000 shares of that was in the dark, in addition to the bid that you guys just saw live.
Okay, guys, I did want to thank, we're getting a lot of new members today, and I want to thank everybody for that again right now. Mr. Phil Tatiosian, Phil Tatiosian, thank you so much for joining us, as well as the grown-ups. Hey, always nice to be grown-ups. I like being a grown-up, but I'd rather be a kid again. And I think that we all are a little bit at heart anyways with some of that. So, okay, Palantir, we're out. So there we go. Like, there's our in. 25.72, our worst out, I guess, 84. We're out of Palantir. Scratch that trade. Now we wait for 26. I mean, this is the thing, guys. Like, you can't get too greedy, although we have this wick. If I can edit this, it'll look a little bit better. What time is this? 10:36. So our chart editing is pretty good. You can go here, you can find 10:36, and you do have a bad low there. So I'm just going to edit this out, and then you'll see a little bit better of what I'm talking about. Not really, it fills it in. But theirs looks better. So in at 72, and this is just how I trade. Rapido out 84s, 85s, 90s, 96, 97, 97 again, and then the last one on this break back down 83. The reason why these are purple is because I had a short sell. Sorry, I had an offer of my shares well above 26, just in case it ripped through and I missed it. I wanted to get out, so those all turn into short sells. Sorry, they turn into sells, but on our chart, it'll show up a short sell. That's Palantir. We're out of that one. Wow, another runner, man, 7+%. Check back in on JWN. Anybody? Holy shoot. What are these calls worth right now? And I've already dumped those. I paid for these calls yesterday, 42 cents. They're worth about, even if you just take time value to nothing, they're worth $1.70 right now. That's 4 times, Brendan, and I'm already out.
17% on Nordstrom. Wow. This one as well, guys, just starting to go. GameStop, GME. Remember this one from a couple weeks back? We had a huge move to the upside on GameStop. 6% today. There's something called, I don't know if you guys know this, but something called Sezzle is now at GameStop's more than 3,300 U.S. locations. So something very exciting called Sezzle is now available at GameStop, guys.
I'll let you guys in the chat tell me what that is, because I could Google it, but I feel like you guys are going to throw it in the chat like every 2 seconds from now. I'm already in Kodak. I don't want to chase too many of these in GameStop. It's much better if it actually tested towards that 15 to 1550 high. It didn't quite get there on this move, so I almost think I don't love them in particular, but if it gets back down towards that 13 area, it's probably worth a bit of a dip buy, at least on a day trade. So I'm going to stay away from this one for the time being. I want to jump back to Fisker because I said I didn't believe in the short. Outside of course, at 20, we sort of went over that one, and that's pie in my face, obviously. It's put in a couple of higher lows, and now it's worth noting, it came back down, and there was a chance to get 40s here once, and now again here at 1940. If it holds that bottom, that resistance point, I think maybe Fisker is a bit of a breakdown trade, but hey, bounces off you up 2 times. Eventually, if we do not break VWAP, this could be an afternoon break long at 1940. My only caution with that would be it is sort of a holiday Wednesday, so the volume could be lower and the breakouts might not be as good in the afternoon. But what's always good is the sector watch. So let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. We'll figure out what is in charge so far today. We are negative here, 0.36% for the overall S&P 500. It's all about the financials, consumer discretionary shares, and industrial stocks. These 3 kind of leading. You can see in the corner there, energy and materials also quite negative on the session. But I want to talk about these first. I'll come over to this side. Tell you about Etsy. Have a look at Etsy. Haven't talked about it yet today, but 4.8% in positive territory. Gap, though, other direction, 18% downside on that report. TJX, ROST, GPC, Amazon is here, 2% higher. Best Buy as well, 2.4% to the upside. But overall, the consumer discretionary sector in negative territory. These ones helping as well. If you go over to the consumer services, RCL in negative territory. I don't see the rest of the cruise lines here, but we do have LVS, Marriott, and MGM. So some of those travel names also back to the downside so far today. Look at the automakers here, Ford and GM. 4% and 3% in negative territory. All about the banks, though. The banks in charge to the downside today. Basically, the entire sector in negative territory so far. Insurance names are leading, worth noting. AIG, LNC here, both 3%. PBCT, and ZION as far as the individual banks are concerned. If you're looking for strength, we've talked about most of these. PayPal, Sean, 2.7% in positive territory. Autodesk is 6%. HPQ on the report higher as well. Wanted to point out this one also, AMD, tough to see, I know, but AMD 2% again today to the upside. Overall, though, the market negative 0.4%. Guys, back over to Sean.
And a big hell yeah to that ACB trade, or sorry, what was that last one you just said there? AMD, not ACB. I'm in ACB. Just got into ACB right now, guys. That's why. So we did talk about where we liked ACB, and it was breaking through 860. I said you could have taken a little bit of a dip down here at 55, right where VWAP is. And yeah, 860 right now. We're going to wait to see here what does happen there. The reason why I'm all discombobulated is because of that JWN trade. This was 1,000. I mean, and same as our viewer there that actually took these with me. Yeah, like I got out like right here, like right when the market opened for a triple or 250% or so, but I guess it's now like 500% in the money, those JWN calls, and what the hell. Okay, XPEV, guys. We also did tell you that this was probably going to be a short at some point, and here we go, guys. We already went short 64.75. That was a good short. That's huge now. That's $1.50 in the money. If you didn't take that out, we did, but then we re-engaged in the short again. So I told you we'd go short if it does break through 63.50. It just does touch 63 even there, so that's 50 cents in the money. We are not out. We're going to get out on the low side of that break. And like I just said, we are now long ACB. And this is at 70 now. So I think we can take a little bit out, take a little bit off there. Tried to cancel it, but we got filled there. So a nice little 66, 67 long. And this one's ripping high side. So man, we did it again, guys. Everything right now winning. So that's another stock, 6 for 6 today.
Just mentioning in chat here, good look, Ken H., one of our members here, talking about DraftKings, 50 even. Go to the daily chart, 50 top a couple of sessions ago. Yes. I mean, it did break through a couple of times here, and we talked about this that it broke. Whatever, through 50 a little bit earlier before reversing hard, and now you're getting again. You can call it a triple top on the 1 minute here. That's exactly what it looks like to me. It has broken through and again got to 50.02. So it is testing higher, and it's a bit of a fail break also when you come to anyone that took it on that long, because if you have a stop at 50, that's going to trigger you and actually give you a bit of a fill. So there would have been some people that are caught long. Maybe they've already covered and test right back in. The fact that it's failing lower, I'll take a shot at it. But at some point, DraftKings is going to break and be a long off that area. I think you just go with like an 05 stop long, maybe a 10 or a 15, because obviously just throwing it at 50 is not going to work.
Guys, I just think you do what I just checked. My bank statement, and we don't have a policy not to show them, but we're long 35.23, and I'm debating getting out of DraftKings a little bit right now. Long 35.23 all the way up to 50. We made the call for you not too long ago, guys, down here, 35 and change. And then now, I mean, it's 35.23 is literally where I'm long. Like, I think that's almost the bottom. It goes to 34.90. We're breaking above the 50 period, but I like it now. Possible another breakout happening right now on DKNG. Thank you for bringing that up. So now, all of a sudden, my JWN 200% winner doesn't seem as bad. But look at ACB, guys. We give this one to you. And once again, Weed Batman is back in the building. So we'll hit that, and we'll come back. We're going to go to Brendan right now. We'll come back. We'll talk more about ACB.
I just saw this one as well. Heat Biotech, one from way back when the pandemic started. This one was going crazy on the PPE front. But HTBX, almost 11% here. It's starting to pop above 105. It was holding there at $1 earlier this morning. So HTBX worth a look. Guys, I'll double check on any headlines.
All right. The reason why I want to talk about ACB right here, first of all, we're on fire. We're smoking this one as we go. Look at that, 174 is out again. Okay, what we were waiting for here was, I thought it was pretty good news on ACB today. The fact that they were selling tons of their product over to some Israeli company. It was medical grade. That makes sense to me. It's a good name. I don't know why it was down. I was saying that, so I should have been buying it down here, but we wait until we get the VWAP break, and then I actually waited until we broke this little pre-market bottom of 65. We got 67. 27s, but you're seeing it's up to 74. Having a hard time breaking out. The market doesn't really like this news today, so I think if we could take 8 cents on an $8 name, I mean, that's good enough for me. We'll put that percent in our pocket and walk away, but it's been a big trade here, obviously on ACB, and we're not afraid to put it on again if it does break back above 9, but I'll be out of this one well before 9. We have orders out here. 76 was the highest on that move, so we'll get some out. I'll even get some more out here, 74 and 75, but ACB right now rocking and rolling, guys.
DraftKings, I'm going to take, like I said, to take that short in front of 50. I'll reverse to long, but don't use 50 as a stop because it's broken a couple of times.
Yes.
Someone was asking in the chat, like, where is Nordstrom's going to retrace? I mean, I don't know. And I think for something like this,
I want to throw up.
the greater the short, so the greater the move to the upside, the stronger the stock, the bigger the short interest, the more you wait for it to turn. So, I mean, Kodak's a different story because I feel a little more confident just shorting it in front of a level. It doesn't even have to come back down yet. It might just jump in front of the train. Now, not with something like a Nordstrom's. With all that being said, if you're talking about today, I don't know what to tell you. If you're talking about a little bit longer term, I would look at this like 32.50 to 34 area where, you know, you go all the way back to when all this it's not a party to the downside, when all this started happening in March. Of course, that was the same area that it got to and then rolled over hard. So that's probably going to be the first look if it goes any higher than this. But that's 10% from here. Actually, check that. It's more than 10% from here. And likely it's going to have a stall up before that. So $30 is psychological. If it rolls over there, I'd probably take a shot at it during lunchtime. It's still $1 away from that happening. But, you know, with something like this, that's not the train you want to be jumping in front of. It's a lot easier to pick on something like a Kodak. And the other thing, too, is very structured upside. Kodak was like 1 or 2 minute chart making the entire move, and this is just consistent buying. The volume is holding up the entire way. No significant pullbacks. It's just a strong trend. Those are the ones that you don't fight, guys.
Okay, yeah, we're not fighting anything today as we're perfect. Oh, we hit our Street Fighter little thing there. Where is it? Today it's a perfect day. Hydrate. Sure, why not? We'll take a little sip of this. We've got to keep talking, guys. We add ACB to the perfect today. So that's ACB. That's Fisker with the long at 17. That's a perfect trade. We've got JP Morgan short, perfect. I mean, we held our last 10%, got out there. Still a positive stock for us today. NEO can't be any better than this. We are positive on NEO today. I'm going to count this as a winning trade, but we did get wicked out, so you can go 6 for 7 maybe on that one. Palantir, that's been my largest stock of the day by far. And then XPEV, we're still holding on to the short, but that's just another winner. So we'll go 6 for 7, but just to be honest with you, I am counting this NEO as a winner, as I don't think anybody lost on that one. What's up, bro, dude?
You saw NEO there, you saw Fisker there, both still kind of grinding back to the upside. Have a look at this one as well, guys. Workhorse quietly getting back towards this initial high around 27.75. No additional, news is surrounding Workhorse today, but we are seeing a little bit of strength in this one so far also.
Yeah, I'm still tracking this 1940 area on Fisker, and now that you mention it, Brendan, the double bounce off you, we sort of talked about this as maybe an afternoon play for a break. I also have to watch that Kodak. It's getting towards that $8, guys, so I have taken 2 shots at it, and I'm not opposed to taking 3. But if this one loses, I'd definitely be waiting for something a little bit crazier to the upside to be fading into, guys. Was that American Airlines I heard Prad say? Let's get over to that space in just a quick second here. But Fisker, 1940, a bit of a reversal the first time. Let's see what happens the second.
Yeah, Prod liking it, breaking through.
What do you say?
Nah, it's nothing. Well, it's not nothing. I don't know where he's long, but it's just breaking through 15 right now. AAL, so AAL.NQ breaking through 15. It doesn't look like it's going to be news-based or anything, but there it is. Nice little move from 1470 to the upside. We'll see. Obviously, Brendan will be the guy with the news. We do have Refinitiv tied in to our platform as well, so Brendan can easily double-check that. But look at ACB, Prad. You want a real runner here. ACB, guys, we're long right here and just keeps going upside. So yeah, when we get into these positions, generally Batman comes into the building, and he's right here right now, guys. Big trade for me on ACB. Just keeps on going. We're just counting up right now. I'm going to do one thing. I don't think we've done this in a while. We're just dropping and counting up the piles of cash. This is called rain money. So here it comes down. We're raining that money down today as we go 7 for 7 now at the big screen with Brendan and Money Talks.
Hey guys, let's talk currencies. Very quickly, we'll have a look at what is going on in foreign exchange land so far today. A little bit of strength, top end of the screen you can see, but down here there was another number that came out in Australia overnight that was a little bit below expectations. So both the Aussie, oh, look at that, New Zealand back to the upside. They both were negative when I first had a look this morning, but Australia back to the upside, almost positive as well. I want to talk about the pound here, 0.25%. They were making a little bit of progress when it comes to negotiations on the Brexit front, when it comes to the rest of the European nations, still trying to figure out import-export deals, things of that nature. Signed a deal with Canada, if you caught that headline going back to last weekend. But we're coming back up to this recent high here around 134. So we'll see what happens at 134. But the pound, you can see, up about 0.25% here, 133.8. Canadian dollar, speak of the devil, is dead flat on the day. 76.9. The euro higher, about 0.25% as well. 119. Crypto's kind of quiet today. It's been a busy week, but back above 19,000 here for Bitcoin, up about 1%, down 1% for Ethereum. Did get back below that 600 level once again for Ethereum. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, I think everyone just got out of that Kodak short. You see in the chat, it's like starting to push the upside. I'm not going long in that stock. It's too far. I think if you catch it early when it squeezes, fair enough. But I'll never chase it to the long side. Reversal on DraftKings. I did get some out. I talked about giving it a little bit past that 50 area. It's like 50.05. That's why my long, instead of being at like 03 or 04, is at 50.08. I did get some out there, but it just turned at like 20s. So I got some at 15 for a scalp, and I'm gonna try to hold the rest. It's just, how many times is this thing going to actually fail at this 50 level, get through like a couple of pennies, and then come right back in? I feel like when it does go and hold above, it's going to be worth it. That's why I'm going to hang on to this position here. Not just going to jump out of it too willy-nilly on a bit of a pullback. At some point, it's going to go, and it's going to be worth it. If today is the day, I'll be all over that one. As far as Kodak goes, if it turns down from here, one of the things you got to be able to do is just sort of not have the FOMO. I've already shorted twice and lost. Like I said, if it goes really, really parabolic and goes into a halt, I think all systems go to start playing in, start going back at this name. But it's been so strong. And try to remember, it was consolidating brilliantly. When it started to come down here, down to the 760, and it added to my position, I showed you guys somebody, when it got to 60, market bought all the way up to 780. The remainder of their shares was 80,000. But that order could have been for over 100,000 shares. And obviously, we've seen what happened to the stock after. For whatever reason, I still added to the position when it consolidated after that. I thought if it did that and didn't push immediately, then that's got to be a good sign for me, because maybe it was a short covering and there'd be less pressure and would come down. Clearly, that could have been wrong, but that was my read initially, and that's why I added to that position. Maybe that was an actual buyer on Kodak, which is crazy.
Yeah, all those shorts. And again, you know, you're going to get squeezed out of long, shorts, everything at some point. Apple looks nice, Toby? Okay, we'll look over there at Apple and see what's going on with that one. I am literally, I'm even telling the wife, sorry about that, because she could have got anything she wanted at Nordstrom's, because, wow, that is just off, guys. We gave that call to you yesterday. I gave this call to you guys like at 20, I don't even know what Nordstrom's was at yesterday, $24, $25. We bought options and we cashed them out for 200% victory on that. But wow, it's now what, 700 or 800% in the money? Someone check what those are. $27 Friday calls right now. What are those at? $27 Friday calls. I don't have options on the board here on our system, so very, very hard for me to check what those are. But put them in the chat if you have those ones, guys. XPEV still making moves. Okay, so we're back short XPEV right here. We're going to give it to 64.25 to the high side. We'll see if that wants to break there. 64.25 on XPEV. We are short 63.97 right now. What's up, B?
Another one that can be put into the renewable energy space, Canadian solar here, CSIQ solar company, 4% on the day to the upside. Look at this huge volume spike that just came in there at 42.40. We're right at the top end of the daily range. So needs to either get through this or come back in a little bit to maybe get a pullback. But Canadian solar having quite the day, guys.
Gonna have a look at that one in just a quick second here, but just to update you guys, got a VWAP break on IDEX. I took nearly nothing. 10% of the position off. I got it initially here at 280. That's gonna be that 10-cent mark, and then it consolidates below VWAP. You know what? And I said, why am I not adding to this position? I probably shouldn't have even taken anything off. I said I wouldn't, and still took a small piece anyways. So I'm gonna add to the short here. You can see these lines. Turquoise lines. I've had some of these bids in already, down in the 60s, but just added a few down in the 50s because of this opening range low at 250, pre-market support level at 250. If it goes down there and it like snaps down and then a bid shows up, I just want to make sure I've gotten some profit out and take advantage of the move further down on that name. I'm staying away from Kodak. I'm looking at it. I do have it up, guys, but that one's still holding northbound of that 8 even area. I'll come back to it at some point, but I'm not going to fight that one too hard. If it goes parabolic one more time, then of course I'll jump into it. I still got that sundial. Every single time this thing pops, I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. On the rollover, I talked about 29 and 30 as support areas. So rejects at 29, I add on the way down. If it comes up again, I'll add again. I've just been shorting that one sort of at will. I've barely covered anything. I covered some in the pre-market down here at 27, and then it came down to that price again, so I covered some. But I'm trying to cover 27, 28, and short price is 28, 29. So, imagine it was a $2 stock. You'd be doing the same kind of thing. So you make a penny, make 2 cents. Got to be happy with it. 25 is the ultimate target, has been a couple of days in a row.
All right, big time wins again coming through right now. Let's go XPEV. We're at the highest part we've been at all day right now, so we will flush XPEV down the toilet. Let's go, bud. Let's go. Nice little short here, 63, 64, sorry. Down, down, down. We just took some off there at 75, and then we took some off at 58 or 60, I believe. Let me find that last fill for you. 59s. So I don't know why, randomly 59. So we'll get some out there for 40 cents. Now we hold the rest, man. Let's see if we can retest this level that we thought was going to break last time. That's why we get out right now. It rejected the 63.50 break, so we'll take some out just to make sure that we capture at least some profit on this trade. XPEV has been pretty bouncy and not doing much. I mean, we need one of those Citron reports to come out. 63 and change at the bottom. We'll put a bid down there. If we can get it, then fantastic on XPEV, but we're downside 63.20 or so. If we can just get a break of this level, that'd be pretty sweet. And then I think 62 is coming next. I can look at that Kodak. You said we needed to pay for shorts or no on this one?
They were free on Kodak today, which, I mean, obviously we were paying earlier on when it was going parabolic back in the day. But today they're free, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say that supply and demand is likely to change that. So we'll see what happens. Worth coming. It's the first time I've given you a look at the daily chart because check this out. 835, and if I'd gone back far enough, I probably would have been looking at this instead of $8. If it turns there, a good level on Kodak. It did make one move this big, and that was back on November 4th. So watch out for 835.
Someone asking about Palantir again, and no, it doesn't look like it right this second. We are taking out some more weed right now. Now we have that small little percentage left and nothing to worry about on weed. I've had a headache like all day, and these lights are just blasting in my face here. I feel fine, but I can't believe that we're able to do this show with this kind of a headache. And I hope you're enjoying the show, that's for sure. So we're just going to wait here. I still got to wait on XPEV. I think we could break this 50, and then if we do, man, we get into the 20s there, and that's where we will take some out. Square, what a great holding this has been for me. It's in like on my longer term account, which here in Canada is called RRSP. So I can't even really touch this money till I retire. But Square, wow, 213 and change, a big runner. We talked about PayPal. PayPal was my call of the year back in January, pre-COVID, $100 ago, 108. Was the call for PayPal. We just continue to go high side on this one. Everything moving around. Brendan did his little update there on Bitcoin. That's at 19.1 right now. Tesla trying to get back to Greensville today. And looks like it has a chance right now. It was early, but then we went red. Now we're trying to go green at through 555. Could also be a play. A couple wicks up here, 555.50. I'm interested in this 560 level if it gets there on Tesla, guys.
Another stock from Brendan here. Remember ANPC? He did talk about this one. It gave already a pullback, and I think we covered this a little bit in the pre-market when we go over these names on the watch list. But bounce, double bottom at 620 or so, trying to get crawl back up a VWAP. Already broke once and failed. Failed a little bit harder the second time. This feels like it's going to be a bit of a short. Still up 100% on the session. But obviously, at some point, I think this one does come back. And I've stayed away from it for the time being. But I'm now looking at this one through $7, which it just tried to get through a couple of moments ago. Before this one comes down, I think we're going to have to go over to the European update. Valeria is ready.
Hey guys, European shares are mixed at this hour. Russia is up 1.25%. France is up 0.15%. Germany is down 0.1%, and Britain is down 0.79%. United Utilities is a positive mover today after it proposed a higher interim dividend. Back to the traders.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Just looking to see what's happening here with some of these trades as we have them on board right now. So we're waiting to see here what is happening with some of the Bitcoin. We're waiting to see what's happening with XPEV right now as well. So lots of stuff rocking and rolling here, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are asking what the stop is on DraftKings. I'm going manual with this one. I said I'm going to. So many times it's tested this 50 and shaken people out. And when it goes, I think I'm going to really like it. Now, it did give a pullback into this 80 range. So I'm watching that quarter mark, 49.75 or so. But I'm not using a hard stop on DraftKings. I think I'm going to allow it to trade below that price and then sort of see what happens. I mean, and what I mean by that is if you have a level 2, you can sort of do this. When it breaks something like that 80 that you see, what happens to the bid ask, right? So if the bid drops to like the low 70s, but the ask doesn't follow, bullish sign. If the ask comes down with size, ask, not the other thing, comes down with some size into the mid 70s or the low 70s, then you know that's a bit of a bearish sign on a potential breakout. So when you're looking at some of these candles on a 1 or a 3, I just find a lot of times watching a level 2 is a little bit better when you're playing these breakouts. I really don't want to get shaken off of something like this when you got a nice little hold since it's been breaking out. It's been consolidating off of this 50 period. It's been trying to break through 50 a few times now. At some point, it's going to actually go. The market is, crawling upside here, but still, the NASDAQ moving. The ES is still struggling to get back up. So I'm taking my shot at DraftKings. No hard stop for me, but I am watching it on level 2 to make sure that I don't miss any hard breakdown against me.
Yeah, and you guys are asking me, like, so far today, thanks for all this talk about the headache love there. I'm fine. We did talk about Tesla breaking 555, and again, I don't know if it is that or what, but we don't have it. So I should have had that one, breaking 555. I'm glad we talked about it, so we'll hit a backflip for everybody there, everyone talking about it here on the chat. Oh, here goes Palantir as well. Like, look at this stock, man. This stock is just a monster. Like, our last longs right here, I said we wait again to 26. I'll do a little bit of work on this one for you. We reversed to the long on XPEV, 64.25, and still ripping now. This is $1 in the money. What up, Ren?
I'm just reading a couple of things on Moderna. Guys, all-time highs today for mRNA. There was a new deal they signed with the European Union as far as more doses going to the EU for their vaccine. They also said within days of FDA approval or emergency use authorization, they will have an X amount, I think it was around 6 million doses available for people in the U.S. within days was the actual language that they used here. So you can see mRNA, guys, 5.5% today. Yeah, above that wick up there was all-time highs early this morning.
So not all-time highs, but Kodak 835 is what I was looking at, but 830 looks like the new high. So it maybe didn't quite get there. COCP now on the radar because of a failed break at 2 even, and then just now pulled back into that same price and then failed again. So zooming out, not in. Just to give you guys a quick look here, last little push to the upside, it was like a $1.80 to $2 range with it, which had some chop. I like this $2 area because it's got some good size there, so risk reward makes sense, and you can get it at like 97, 98, which risk reward makes some sense to me. I'm adding to my IDX. Well, I just tried to add to my IDEX position because it just came back down below 270. I'm short here at 73, but I've been trying to add around 69 to 72. Just one more time, we'll see if I can get it. I haven't been able to just yet, but COCP now on the radar.
You guys are seeing NEO now 52.30. Our last long was 52, so it does bust to the high side there on NIO, so that's been a good trade. We were hella long down here at 49. I hope you were with me on that. If not, that's okay. I wasn't with myself on that trade. We are now out of ACB as our last 10% comes right back for flat, so that was a nice little win there. So we are not caught with our pants down today on ACB either. We have XPEV, 80 cents in the money now, but we've just been going back and forth. Like the shorts, we get out there and then it gets taken out. So XPEV is going to be a flat for us today. It was a monster yesterday. You guys know that. Breakthrough 65 and touches 65.70. That's where my order's at right now, just in case that does come back. So that's XPEV looking to make moves back to the upside. I do like your Apple talk there. Some people talking about Apple. I'm sorry about Tesla. I really should have that, but I don't, so that's okay. Apple 1% making new highs right now at 116.75. We can look at a larger, what time is it, 11:06 right now. We can look at a little bit of a larger time frame and see what's happening. 11:40 maybe on the downside, but see, this is too choppy for me. Microsoft, Mr. Softy, MSFT, 23 213.40 there was the bottom, so that was okay. But Softy negative today, so not really in love with some of these names, man. The big cap tech just not moving around. It's like the AMDs of the world. Even though AMD is big cap right now, 86. Wow, that call was at 76 as well. This is about where my man Robbie got out. It goes all the way to 87 and change today. I like AMD to the long. Here goes XPEV. Our orders at 69ers upside. So we'll wait to see if we get 65, 69 and get out just before that 75. So we'll see if XPEV wants to give us about $1.50 on this long.
Just got into that COCP, guys, so quick update. It just immediately rolled over when I got my second entry point here. So it looks like it's trying to head back down. You can see I have bids in the entirety of this range, in the consolidation off a pre-market high. Also this pullback to 190. So I have bids all throughout that 10-cent range. So once it dips about 10 pennies in the money, I can start taking some profit on it. That's just the way I like to do it, so that I can, monitor it, have a stop. I'm actually offering a little bit more up near the top there, so I want to be able to get into more shares if I can. But if it goes right away, I just want to be able to monitor some other stocks at the same time. This CSIQ, this one looks like it's still too strong. Just broke 42.50, so that was a bit of a double top, and it looks like it's still potentially breaking out. The only issue with this, the volume is very, very low on this outside of a couple of spikes. So I don't know that I love that on a holiday Wednesday to be dipping into something which doesn't have really, really strong relative volume outside of a few massive block prints.
I can't believe Square. I can't. There it is, XPEV. Hells to the yeah. Excuse me. We will take that and we'll hit a bang for you on XPEV there. We go back to positive on the name. It's been a good day for us today. So there we go. Thank you, XPEV. Brings us back to positive. The only stock that we are negative on, we're negative on GBTC, which is a little bit here on Bitcoin. It looks like a little bit of over trading, people say when they see this. We were caught on this long and we couldn't get out for like 30 pennies there, so we got killed on that name. Not killed, but that's okay. XPEV, a nice little long to the high side there. What a great out that was. You could tell we've been shorting XPEV all day, right? So short and out again, and then finally long. You know that we were long because our out is red, which means we've sold it up there. So here's the bid, 64.27, and there's the out, 65.73 for another win. But it has been a roller coaster type day on XPEV. I really, again, like not holding this. Neo was a little bit of a shocker. I don't know why we didn't do that. It doesn't even, well, I guess because it goes down to 51.15, so that does go 85 cents against us. We did get out at 51.50, so look, you can have losers. It's fine. Like, this is going to be a 50-cent loser. We just took $1.20 on XPEV, so you got to really watch out for that, man. We realized we were in trouble. We got out of 80% and lose on our last 20 there, 51.50, which is a good out because it goes to 51.16, and now breaking new highs is Neo, and I think that stock is off to the races. Man, tell me if you guys at least heard me talk about taking Tesla through these highs. I think you probably did. We don't have it, but there it is, man. Huge win for Tesla if you guys are on board with that one. I'm just going to drink.
Guys, level 2 right now, Kodak. Again, look at this bid. It's ridiculous at 8 even here. I don't believe that for one bit. I mean, every single gateway showing exactly 77,000 shares, but there was a buyer on the bid for 80,000 down around that 780 mark on the way up. I just feel like we just failed at that 835 on the daily chart. I don't know, if someone's propping this one up to hold it up here, if that breaks, I'm probably going to try another time on that short. That's a little bit ridiculous when you see that kind of size sort of layered on multiple gateways for the same. We'll see if it's actually real, but if it goes down through that and they get filled, I'm going to take that short one more time on Kodak. Brendan, what's up?
There's about 5, 6, 7. I'm even counting right now. 7 names right now on the high volume list that I watch that are Chinese stocks right at the top of the list. So it's pretty rare that you see that many all at once, but here's another one. ZKIN, 56% today. Big move, really no significant positive news. They just updated their current quarter. Another micro cap, little Chinese holding company, failed up there at 3, but starting to turn back to the upside. Very, very thin on this one, so tread lightly. But ZKIN, big volume mover, guys.
Yeah, someone's saying, why calling level 2 a joke? Because you want to know the difference between whether that order gets filled when someone marketed up and then showed the rest of their fill at 780, then that was legitimate. So you could really, really tell there was some buy action. I was sitting in a short. It was good information to have. Now, you do have to parse through some of these other orders and make a judgment call on it, but I would rather have more information than choose what to do with it than be trading blind. Just not going to happen. I've been doing this way too long, and there's no way that I would choose to be blind, even if sometimes you get false signals out of the level 2. Trust me when I tell you, it's better to have access to that information and then choose what to do with it. It's like having indicators. What do you see on my chart? Like I got VWAP and I got volume up here, but at least I can put any other study I want up here if I want to, and I think they're going to be useful. Even if it's just to see what other traders are looking at, you don't have to use it, but it's definitely nice to have that at your fingertips, guys.
All right, Palantir back over 26. So let's see what happens. We're long at 05. We took some out, 7, 8, 9, 10s, some 9s. Now we're going to see if we can hold the rest. So now here it goes. We're going to wait to see on Palantir what it wants to do. It's not like ripping too much here. So I'm a little nervous about this position. What's up, Beef?
Yeah, I just saw somebody mentioning Tesla. I was just double checking on Tesla. We mentioned that they were going to invest some money in building a charging station manufacturing plant over in China. There was also a recall this morning, 9,500 vehicles being recalled for some issues. But look at this move on Tesla, guys, in the last few minutes here. 555 up to 565 on volume.
Yeah, thanks for that one. I was wondering what that move was about because I was like, holy crap, did we actually call that crazy move on Tesla? For no reason other than technical, I liked it. And then now you get a little bit of news behind it. It's always nice when you get a technical break, in my opinion anyways, right here, this 57. That's the call that we made. I was telling you could get a little bit juicy with it down here at 555, but I don't have it on. So we don't need to talk too much about it, but that was a good trade. Anybody in that good look there, thank you for Brendan. But guess what? We are in Palantir. And the money just keeps on spinning around. And let's just get some more out here on this. And it just keeps ripping, guys. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking profits. You do see some leveled up share size here. We're leveling up our share size. We took another big trade here at 26. We smashed it. This was a pre-market, so this wasn't a smash. But, I mean, when you make $1.25 on it, doesn't need to be. And this was huge. This 25 one was a monster trade, 25 long. So we do it again here at 26, and we rip up to 26.17. So I am staying hydrated, guys. Thanks for that. We are battling this headache. But when Palantir does this, man, we are all good.
Watch out. Talked about this level a couple of times, and it bears watching here. Fisker broke 1940, so it's double topped here. This is a lower high, obviously, so take with a grain of salt, not an actual top. But it didn't get back into VWAP this time, and both times that we tested this level, we came right back into VWAP. It's now looking a little bit stronger than it did before. That buying on Kodak, it's actually still going to the upside on Kodak, so watch out for that, guys. But if Fisker makes another push, I do like this break at some point, and then maybe a retest of 20 even, where I missed it the first time. If it gets to 20, I will try a short with a potential reversal to the long side, depending on time of day and the amount of volume into it. But the volume drying up, and that's why I tend to favor shorts when the volume dries up. So if it breaks 50 and then gives you any kind of a push into that 20, guys, I will be taking Fisker for the short trade. Now, I did have an accidental short that I got out of, but I haven't really wanted to short this name, not once. I'm starting to think about it here as it's grinding back towards that key price. Kodak. Guys, I would allow it to trade out of this $8 to $8.30 range before I would do anything with it, at least for the time being. Brendan, what's up?
Just checking on MicroStrategy, MSTR. If you remember yesterday, Citron came out and said this was their pick if you wanted to be exposed to something cryptocurrency related. So they were actually talking positively on MicroStrategy, MSTR. But big move down here in the last few minutes on volume for this one. So I'm going to double check on MSTR all-time highs, guys.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that name, but I am loving crypto lately. We've just crushed Verge and Ripple and a whole bunch of different ones as well. If you guys know Stellar Lumens, XLM, that's been a good one for me as well. ADA, Cardano, but we'll look into that more as we go. Look at Palantir, man. And thank you so much as we go, guys. Someone here said my Palantir call Palantir call of Monday of 25 by Wednesday. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed myself. I can't, never seen a stock really, I've seen stocks do this, but I've never really been involved as much as I have been with Palantir. And look at this, we have another long at 26.05. So thank you for all the love on the chat, guys. Thanks to Brendan for bringing us some of these key names as well. And if you followed me to this week, I don't even know, the winning ratio is something in the 90s here this week. So that's unbelievable. And I I can hope it could continue, but I can't call that. So please, hopefully you're taking advantage a little bit of these wins right now, and I'm loving them, and that's Palantir. We're almost out of it all. Unfortunately, we only have a third left of this trade, so I'm going to get out right now. It looks like it's having its problem.
COCP just got some out for profit, 190, bit of a bid. Once it breaks through that, I'll take a bit more, but Fuel Tech is back in play. We talked about Fuel Cell being relatively stronger. Fuel Tech still down 17%, but now it's making another push to the upside. I said this already once. Relative strength in Fuel Cell, if I take this breakout at 5 in the stronger name, obviously would have been a nice winner. I'll cover COCP. I already have bids to get out of this one, so I'm taking profit as it goes downside. But Fuel Tech, if it cannot get through, it's another fail break at 5, the same one that trapped me, and it never got past 510. If it rolls over here, relative weakness, I will play that to the south side. Kodak about to break 8. Fool me. I'm not gonna say that line because I feel like it's jinxing me. But this will be the third time I'm shorting Kodak. If it breaks at 8 even, I'm not touching between 8 and 830. But that bid, not there anymore at 8 even. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so Palantir, we're out. We just took some out there at 20s on that 20 break, capture that 20 pennies. So we'll hold a little bit right now. That we have that 10%. I shouldn't say we're out. We do have that 10% left on Palantir, but it's an irrelevant type of thing right now as we go. We'll see. I mean, it's not irrelevant if it keeps ripping to the high side, but this dropping spot, I don't even have an out. 25.80 actually is my out. I just looked. I did put that out in. And this is the other thing. When we're talking about trading here, we understand that I have a lightning fast system right in front of me, and a lot of you won't have that. This is through Day Trade the World, so check that out. Valeria can drop that link as well, and we scalp in and out. Like today on Palantir, 69 trades I have, and you can see what we've done: long, early, long again, long here. So, and we're in and out all the time, and I understand that we don't have to pay fees when we get in and out, right? There is a pass-through fee depending on what gateway you use, but that's very, very manageable. Those of you that know anything about prop trading will know what I'm talking about. What's up, Beep?
Typical heading into a holiday, guys, especially before long weekend as well. Some individual stocks moving around, making crazy outside range type moves on very little to no headlines whatsoever. Just had a good look for anything on this one, PGen, and came up pretty blank, but Precision barely moves typically. Like the average daily range on this is about 8 to 10 cents even, and we're up more than $1 today. So 21% for PGen as well.
Okay, a couple of things to cover here. I'll hit this one because I don't know why I'm on the wrong page here, so you get the Brendan go. COCP, I talked about it rolling down towards VWAP, and I had bids out, so I had nothing to do there. Now, we talk about revenge trading over and over again, but there's something to be said about taking trades that fit your setups, and you just got to go ahead and play and make those trades. And if it's going to be me fighting for the third time in Kodak and taking the short, it's because once it broke 8, it gave you the failure at this level here at 835. If I was flat and had not traded Kodak at all today, would I be shorting off of that failure, especially when it broke that 8? 100%. So just because I'm 0 for 2 on it doesn't mean I don't make the trade. Now, if both those trades were breaking my rules and made no sense and I was doing stupid things, then don't do it the third time. But if both of them made sense to me at the time and I just happened to lose, then I see a third setup, I'm just going to do it. Now, I'm going to take profit at this in front of 780. And why? Remember, there was a buyer from 760, marketed up to 780. So I'm definitely going to take profit, just guessing that maybe they'd be there again. If that breaks down, I will 100% take some more out at 760 because that's where that buyer showed up and marketed up that 20 cents. So in the off chance they do the same thing, I will definitely take more profit on Kodak down there. But this is probably the weakest it's looked at any point. Yes, I could have had it in consolidation, but to me, that's just being a little bit too frisky when I saw a bid at 8 even that I wanted it to chew through. So I am back into Kodak. I don't consider it a revenge trade. A revenge trade would be breaking your rules and then just taking the trade because you happen to be down. This was more taking a setup that I got to look at. If I was flat and had never traded, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, even as an Italian, mad respect for Diego Maradona has passed. apparently
way.
with a heart attack.
Oh,
I saw some news stories about him. He's been in trouble for a
Yeah.
while, but my condolences to everybody, Argentinian, I guess, and the soccer world in general, Mr. Diego Maradona. The best thing, he had the hand of God. If you guys don't know about that, look that up, the hand of God. A great, great highlight there. And what a classy guy. Did so much for, the world of soccer and South America in general. So shout out to Diego Maradona passing away. Apparently, I don't know. It's on the newswire from Bloomberg, so we'll see if that does come through there.
The guy's a legend, not just a hand of God. Make sure you watch out the goal, and all you have to say is the goal, and people will know exactly. You should know exactly what I'm talking about. My pops had that game recorded on our Betamax player, so I wish he had converted those to digital. I don't think he did, but it was fantastic. I mean, if you don't know what Betamax is, I probably just told you guys how old and lame I am. But we were true believers in Beta in my household. It was Beta and Apple, and only one of those two actually won out. So thankfully, Apple did. Even though I don't use their products, I am a believer in Apple, believe it or not. COCP continues to roll into VWAP. I don't know why I didn't take some more shares out here. Obviously, I still have like half my position, so why not take some more out? Now, if it breaks below VWAP, I want to make sure I have some more in case it gets down to this 150 target, but that short in front of 2 gave you a couple of reasons why I liked it. One was the risk to reward. I can probably cancel my other offers up there. If it comes back to 2, I probably don't like it. So a nice little winner here for the short side trade. Kodak just went back to break even. If it breaks at 8, I'll give it a little bit of room, but not too much. Certainly not back to 8.30. The way this has been bought up, if I have to scalp it for like 20 cents and then the rest of it I lose like 5-10 pennies on, you just got to take that as it comes. The bid has been rather strong in Kodak, so I'm wondering if there isn't a bit more to this than I'm seeing on the wire. Brendan, what's up?
Just reading on Sierra Wireless, little Canadian content here. SWIR, up big time today. The only thing I can really see is there was an upgrade. It was Collier Securities with an upgrade today, but this seems a little bit far-fetched for just an upgrade. So going to keep looking here, but SWIR, SWIR, big move, guys.
Like Palantir now, guys, we're still long this. This is just another monster brought to you by yours truly, and I hope it just continues, man. We waited for 25.70. This is Fisker, is it? No, this is Palantir. Sorry, got to move this over. We waited for this 25.80. That's didn't hit, or did it? I don't know. We're going to wait on it now, though, but it keeps going to the upside. We could maybe get out of this name if it does come to day's high again, 39. I will forget that. I'm actually just going to take more long if we do break. My best out was already up here, 31, 32. Let's get some out now. It's only 20 cents away, so we'll wait to see if we can get some more out on the high side now. 26.40, 26 and change here on Palantir, so watch out here.
Yeah, and watch out for Kodak. This stock it's relentless. So it took some out at VWAP. It's now retesting into that 8 to 8.10 range. If it busts out of here, I could. The last time I'm short this one, I guarantee you, I'll make top wick, and then next thing you know, it'll close at 720. But you have to be willing to live with that. If that's going to be the case, then I will have just been wrong on Kodak, despite the fact that it might eventually go to the downside here. So I got a level 2 up. I'm going manual stops just so I can see if the bid really picks up above 805, which it hasn't yet. I will be getting out. Thankfully, IDEX starting to roll over one more time. Now, I still have bids. Very, very similar to COCP, where I didn't have to do anything. It just kind of slid down, and you saw me taking profits. You might have seen my position or the profit board change as it was going to the downside. Same thing would have to happen here in IDEX once it cracks 265. So it hasn't done that yet, but my bids are all the way down towards that low. One last one here. We're about to go back to Brendan, but Sundial, I did add to my position a couple of times to the short, and it's now cracking VWAP. So I'll start taking profit in front of 27. Basically, the only place where I was taking off any of these shorts this morning, it's around that that 5% mark, maybe 5-10% take some profit. If it gets down to 25, I'd be all flat. Brendan, what's up?
We saw some early strength in some of the cruise lines. They came back in, Norwegian specifically, but I just saw a headline on Delta here, Dow. Some of the airlines did go positive very briefly and then started working back downside, including this one. They just approved, apparently their pilots union approved some cost-cutting measures that is going to stave off any further furloughs for all of next year. So no additional furloughs for Delta until at least 2022, which is good news, guys.
Beauty, yeah. I wonder if that was maybe what Prad was part
think
of
so.
American Airlines
Yeah.
early, right? It wasn't Delta, but a good little look there for sure, guys. Yeah, things going well, man. Palantir, we just talked about that, so we are watching that still. I do see some Apple love on the chat, so we can get over to that quickly just to see what's happening with AAPL. There was that talk early. I think it was 116 and change. Yeah, okay. It's not taking out the highs. I thought someone was saying Apple was ripping, but still, that 1% is nice into this market, guys.
And someone just asked about Boeing, and obviously, look, I like the stock. We've talked about buying dips a couple of times here. Oh, daily chart, why won't you load properly? That's okay. The 15 is going to do just nicely. I would only like this, and we talked about this earlier on in the week. Well, last week we talked about 175 to 185. That's gone. 2 to 203 for some dips on Boeing was good earlier. I think the same thing would be in play today. I mean, Boeing in the middle of this range on a holiday. It's not a holiday today, but of course, tomorrow the U.S. markets are closed. I just feel like it could be choppy within this like $5 to $10 range the entirety of the day, and not worth a day trade. Also, if you're going to swing into it, why not wait for it to come down a little bit? Oh man, Kodak. So it's back at this 806, 810, but there isn't a significant amount of buying up here, so I'm still giving it a little bit of room. I don't know how much I can give this one, just given how strong it has been, so I would watch out for that position. I'll go back to gap because I haven't talked about this gap fill in a little bit, but just going to the higher time frame here. It did eventually get that last bid in front of 2150, and this is that bottom here on the 12th. Also a bit of a breakout on the 6th as well for gap going into last month. So essentially, if you look at the higher time frame, I'm basically trying to buy in front of this low. And again, if you're going to bottom pick, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can have a target, which is your out. In this case, I didn't look at the low of the day at the time at 2180. I was watching this 2150. If that breaks, I'm out. I wanted a price of 22. My price is 21.99. So even when you're averaging into a position, if you get the price you want for the amount of shares that you want, you've done it correctly. If you're just randomly buying because it goes against you, that's when averaging down doesn't make any sense, guys, and you shouldn't really do that. But I wanted 22, so I wanted to risk 50 cents in slippage. I think if it even busts a small gap fill to the upside, you're definitely talking between 22.5 and 23 even for a bit of a target. And then from there, you take out a little bit for like 50 to $1. You take the rest out if it continues to push back towards 23.50. Brendan. What's up, bud?
Overall, the market kind of grinding along in negative territory here. Only just, though. We're just negative on the ES. Just saw this. This time of day, you want to kind of lean towards things that are showing some relative strength. Have some names in your back pocket as well that are overall weak on the day in case we get a market move. But this one just popping up. Lemonade, guys, right at day highs. Just made a day high above 72. Bit of a pullback here. It needs to hold above 71, I think. But Lemonade, relatively strong today.
That was one. I don't know. I need to add it back to my board because one of the things you should do is, I don't always do the best job of this, but clean up. I do it once a week, just sort of clean up my main board. And why do I always think this is a NASDAQ stock? You're killing me because anytime I see a company that's, to me, a tech name, it's like if you've been trading a long time, it's just 4 letters and any kind of tech, and of course an insurance company which is breaking in on the cloud and tech side, I'm going to think it's a NASDAQ stock. And of course they're on the New York. We were talking about this Lemonade, and again, it really only ever made sense to me off this consolidation back in the day. So I don't really know what to do with it up here above 70. When it was back at like 45 to 50, it made some sense. And whether you're looking at a break here at 72.5, it is worth noting it's about to get to that all-time high. So you got to watch out for this. I'm not buying through the break here. If anything, I will be looking at a failure off of that level, especially, it's only done 1 million shares in volume. On a day like today, if it fails to extend through, you might just get some profit taking going into this holiday. So I'd watch out for that one in the afternoon. I mean, I don't see anything just yet. Thank goodness Kodak back below $8. So hopefully this is the turn, and I'll get the winner. But I can't be too stubborn with this name. It just continues to defy logic and my opportunity, my chance to get to the upside. Downside. I'm also watching KXIN again. My initial short off of this 865, it retested this price here, that 820 where I first got out, some consolidation at that price again. So sort of alert to a potential afternoon break at 820. Seems like that's going to be an important price. I've only gone short one time and made money on it, but I would think about a long if you get an afternoon break at 820 on KXIN. So long as it's held that 750, that should go without saying.
Okay, yeah, we're down to the 1 p.m. marks. We've been doing good drinking today. I think the headache is, I get a headache if it's a low ceiling, and today it's like rain central outside. So I think that's the problem right now. 53.20, guys. Let's just hit the Money for Neo, because I know a lot of you are going long on this name, and it's been a ripper today, to say the least. This is where we were long at the beginning of the day, then again at 52 upside, and then yeah, now it just keeps on going. So good little move there. We keep talking about Palantir, and the reason why is because it's my favorite stock, and should be yours too. We've got about almost a triple here in about a month on Palantir, so that's a good one. I do have an order to get out, and we do have an order to get long. So if it does go upside, we're still long 05s here. We will get that out. Oh, I got to cancel that. We will get that out around 30 again if it comes back up, and then we'll take out the 40 on a high side. Fisker today, so yeah, so today we're 7 for 7, and Fisker was another long that we had early, 1765. Our best outs 1867. So once again, man, that's a hot dog trade for everybody as we go. So let's watch out right now as Fisker going to the upside could break through 20. It just did have a stop and go upside there at 20 when it failed that break, guys.
Yeah, you know what that means. You guys know what that means. It's almost lunchtime. Fisker has already made two. Well, okay, we'll call it. I'm just going to say it because I need to drink water myself. Mine's empty. Two parabolic moves up. 20 was a short the first time, and I missed it. I told you guys all the reason why. I should have paid for those locates in the pre-market, but I did not. It is now turned off of that. Now, if the stock, I've said this a few times, if the stock is bullish and you're biased to the long side or anything that makes you like its strength, I think it makes more sense to allow it to reject and then maybe get into a short as opposed to just standing in front of it on the way up, right? So allow sellers to come in and then give you an indication that it's at least turning around before you jump in front of a level like that. Now, if it's something else, you saw me do it in Kodak, where I'm not as bullish on it, I will jump in front at least the first time. Obviously, that didn't work in Kodak. It doesn't mean I wouldn't do it again, but Fisker, different story. So now we're getting some leveling off at 80s. I still like to break at 20 even for a long, so we could always think about a reversal here. But first things first, I paid for the shorts. I am ready to do it here. If I can get something starting from 80 to about 90, get an average price in the 85 range at the absolute, that'll be the closest. I'll take shares below 80, but my average price on the break of 20 needs to be 85 because I want to risk about 20 pennies on that, and you got to factor in slippage, guys.
Yeah, I don't see Neo shorts coming anytime soon. Let's check out on XPEV 65 and change. What a good out on our long. I mean, we were long right here, 64.23 on this break and out. We've been short, like short and out, short again and out. These were losers, of course. And then we break the long and get out there to put us back into the money on XPEV. What's up, B?
Sientra, another one from the medical equipment maker group, just noticed day high. You can see it just made 12.5%. Not seeing anything in the way of news on this one. A couple of days ago, they updated their current quarter forecast, better than expected, back to the upside. But nice look here for SIEN. We're coming up to significant levels here on the daily time frame. That wick way up there, 567. So still 30 cents or so away for SIEN, guys.
Okay, so here we go, guys. We're back into the biggest and the baddest of them all, and you know what that is. That is Palantir long through 43s right now. So let's see what it does through 50 here. Palantir, let's give this some room.
Got into First Solar. It's not First Solar. Got into Fisker here. Got 83s. I mean, obviously, I want to be able to add if I can. I got out of DraftKings the first time when it came down. It was manual. I didn't have a hard stop. It's now testing 50 again. I mean, it's stock. It's like, how many times is it going to do this? Maybe the better way to play it. Maybe the better way to play this is just buy dips on the name. Maybe if it gets to like the quarter mark, it's worth it. But now have this Fisker. I'll add a couple of times here. I want an average of 85. 20, I still think can be a breakout for you guys if you like it. Still to the long side.
Come on, dance, Palantir, let's go. Dance Monkey, you guys like that song? Maybe you don't. I think Valeria likes that song. Me and Valeria like Dance Monkey. So we will dance a gorilla off right now as we got some size moving this upside. Let's go, Palantir. I mean, do you have a 30 handle in you? Let's see. Palantir just keeps on ripping. I wish I had calls on this name. We're long 26.43, and the floss is back. We're doing it. Headache or not, the winners just keep on coming through for me. And yeah, there it goes, man. Neo breaking through 53. Palantir 55. Guys, look where we've been long this name today. 23 and change, 25 flat, 25.70, 26 and change, 26.43, give a hell yeah in the chat. We love that. We'll catapult ourselves through oblivion. We also want to check out as well DraftKings. That's long in our own personal account of $35. That one's not doing anything. I think we'll get out at some 50s. Our JWN calls from last night, punch in the face. We're still at 29. That was a $27 call, so that's a big one as well. And there goes Palantir, just keeps on going, man. 57s, 58s, 59s. Let's take some out 58. The money just continuing to fall down over on this side. Neil, how are you doing over there?
Doing pretty sweet. Like it's not that I don't like Fisker. I like Fisker. We love this name, but when you're day trading, you have to separate things, of course. So it is starting to roll over. I've said this before. If you don't get your full position, sometimes it can be a good thing. It just means it went in the money for you. And if I wanted an average price of 85 on a 20 break, but couldn't get fills unless it was in the, in here it was 83, but or 80s. That means you have to hold off because I don't want to change the risk profile of the trade just because I couldn't get a fill the exact price that I wanted. So if we start to roll over or continue to roll over, we talked about this 40 area. We just broke it through it there. I'm gonna get aggressive and see if I can't, of course. As I'm talking to you guys, talk about that 40, it just pulls right back into it. That was going to be the first target area, so next time it comes down, I will try to get some out on the bid. But Fisker rolls over at 20, double top. I should have had it the first time. It was sloppy. That even though I was bullish on the stock, if you have to pay for borrows, sometimes just the flexibility, even if they're cheap, and in this case they were for us to day trade the world, it's just worth it to have on board. We've done it before. There's an IPO that we want to go long off the open, and we'll just pay 5 or 6 cents per share to go short, just so I've got that flexibility and cover in case it changes my mind in mid-fly. I got to do this one, and I don't usually hit this key here, but they're playing tomorrow. Houston's playing tomorrow, I think. And I feel like when I puke, it looks like Deshaun Watson, the quarterback in the Houston Texans. But there goes Kodak, again stopping me out. So I get a small win on that last short, and then it butts right back to the upside. I might be done with that one today. Thankfully, Fisker is starting to roll over, so still have a little bit of LFT, but hopefully Fisker can change that.
Guys, no FT over here. We're rolling the dice on Palantir every day, and it just keeps on ripping to the high side. We're making our day and our month and our whatever, our year on Palantir right now. Another long at 43, and it just keeps going high side. Just ignoring the market. I mean, look at the market today. This is the problem. Very flat. Nothing happening today in the market. So we'll have to wait to see if something wants to go. But right now, we just take out some more on Palantir. We now have a quarter left, on the high side right now. Our best out there, 60s and change on that name. So all good over here, man. We go perfect today. The only loser that we have P&L wise is going to be this one right down here. Neo, like these are all longs. It's embarrassing that this triggers at 9:31 and we get out of that trade right there at 9:31. These longs were like, look how I had an embarrassingly amount of shares down here long, so many long, and then it rips up $3-4 now into the money. Look, I would have took it out. Like I'd be out here probably. So it's not like it would have been a huge winner, but definitely would not have been a loser. Palantir, guys, 26.75, another 34-cent winner. Everything kosher back here. Brendan has it at the big board.
Hey guys, yeah, about 20 minutes until lunchtime here in the Eastern time zone. We'll have one last look at markets here, some stocks that we've been trading on the show so far today. S&P 500, yeah, kind of muted so far. We are lower, only 0.3%. You can see the Dow now 0.5% to the downside, holding below that 30,000 level. Got above yesterday. NASDAQ positive on the day. The only one, Russell is also negative, 0.8%. You can see here in Toronto, the TSX flat. Brazil kind of flat as well. Heading into the holiday tomorrow. Let's have a look at top symbols from the show so far today. Palantir, Fisker, XPEV, and that YJ per share P&L on that number, or on that side of things if you're wondering. FSR, big move through this high on the daily chart. Wanted to show you that high because you can't see it on the intraday time frame, but about 18.5, huge volume came. It was actually this kind of volume spike here when that got through that 18.5. But monster move for Fisker today. XPEV, yeah, the Chinese names in the EV space all gapping down. But look at the relative strength in this one. Still kind of grinding back to the upside. NEO as well included in that. YJ missed that initial move downside, caught the bounce into 5. Still kind of grinding along here. But yeah, this is the problem down here. Volume dying out on YJ already. Guys, back over to you.
Speaking of that, Fisker, you just mentioned in the chat, I'm going to trail this this stop. I'm no longer going to give it all the way back to 20 even. It just retested that 1940. So, like I said, I take off like that 40-ish cent winner. Thankfully, it did come back there again. I should have had a bid there the first time. That was my mistake. If it gets to 19, I'll get some more shares out and then hold the rest for VWAP. Where it is bounced on a dime, and we talk about this. Now, I know it's a little bit trickier off the open. Obviously, VWAP doesn't matter as much, but it did have this pre-market level down here at 17. That's what I was trying to buy in front of. So when it dipped in front, it came back up. It pulled back again, pre-market high break. That's where it held up. And then from there, every bounce has been VWAP. If you're bullish on the stock and you're going to short off the top, I feel like that's a good place to take some profit, obviously, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. If it gets down there, my orders are going to be locked and loaded and ready to go for that name. I just want to take you guys quickly back over to IDEX, though. With only about 20 minutes to go, just to cover some things here. It's good to anticipate there will be less volume in the afternoon because that just tends to be true. Obviously, it's going to be Thanksgiving, and a lot of traders might get an early start, so volumes drop down in the afternoon. So you might not get bigger moves. All the more reason why I have to start considering moving my stop on IDEX, and if it can't hold lower, trail down towards the bid here, the low of the day here at 250, I got to consider maybe just taking it out at like a 275 or like a 272 where my average price currently sits. You don't want to have winning trades turn into losers at this time of day. And it's not to say that I'm giving up on the trade. It's just that the longer you're holding something on this day, you might not want to be thinking about holding it into the close. And that also goes for my sundial position as well, which 2 days in a row, I'd hold shorts into the close. Maybe not today because of tomorrow's holiday. Brendan, what's up?
CNBC reporting this one. Salesforce, guys, apparently in talks to buy Slack Technologies. Work halted 7% higher. Big move up here, 29.80 to 31.80 almost. But yeah, CNBC reporting that Salesforce CRM in talks to buy Work, guys.
And Jeremiah with the super chat, with the dropping the news there, and of course CRM probably going to be down on that news. I'll give my take on this. So if it's a cash and stock deal and we come into that, I'm assuming it'd probably get announced or something like that on like a Monday or into next week. You start thinking about the levels that, if you like the stock in your holder CRM, you start thinking about levels that you want to be able to pick it up because a lot of times they'll go oversold on that first day after the announcement. As far as Slack goes, because this is a halt on news, or sorry, a volatility halt, but there is news, you're going to want to make sure when it opens back up, it might not be that 5 minutes, although it seems like a volatility halt to me. Either way, if it's volatility, it should open up in a couple of minutes here. If it is waiting for news, you never really know when it is going to open back.
Yeah, buy Salesforce on any dip, that's for damn sure. Palantir, guys, again, thanks for the love in the chat. We've gotten some comments here that it's just been such a positive day, so thank you for that as well. Up to 27. Our first long, guys, 23 down here long. It's at $27. These are all longs. Long and out, long and out, long and out, long and out. And you're going to know what I'm going to say next. There it is. So that's a nice little move. I think we're going to wait to see, but Slack Work does have a competitor to Microsoft. So Microsoft getting down, I guess, a little bit on that news, but it shouldn't. It's more about the market fading in now again. So the market's coming back down. Look at what we talked about all day. Like, this is basically the last 2 hours. It's just been choppy, doing nothing, and then we just give it all back right there. So just a couple minutes. This is a 1 minute chart on the ES. Let's check out the NASDAQ for you guys real quick as we go. We're 7 for 7 today with winners, and we have a 55-cent win on right now on Palantir. Yeah, NASDAQ, very, very similar thing, although a little more volatile on this one. But here we go. Microsoft back to the upside. May go long here, but again, people selling their shares before Thanksgiving makes a lot of sense to me. Wow, Palantir.
They're not selling Slack. Slack just opened back up. It was just volatility. And I mean, no chance.
No, you should be buying Slack.
Yeah, no chance to get it down around that like 31. It was trading down here for a split second. But trust me when I say you couldn't get that bid, unless you had like a market on open order for the reopen. It's about to halt again. You can tell by the piling up bid here. So can't trade higher than 34.29 in 15 seconds. From the time that you see that, you get the gray. That means it is halted once again to the upside. These are volatility halts. The news is in with Slack and Salesforce. This one is going absolutely crazy. I mean, at some point, you just have to start thinking about where the actual deal price would come in. We have no details on that yet. I would hesitate to jump in, not hesitate. Do not short a potential M&A action if you do not have any sort of concept of what the valuation is going to be on the potential deal, especially if it's one that you think is likely to go through. So I'll sort of leave on that note when it comes to Slack. Brennan, what's up?
There's no individual number I'm seeing yet, but they are talking more than the current market cap of Slack, which is around 17 billion as of the beginning of the session this morning. So they are saying a potential deal could be more than that current market cap, guys.
All right, so work here. Okay, halted again. Right now, $34. So there's the second halt. Yeah, you would be insane to short that. I also think you're insane to short CRM. I love CRM, Salesforce. This is, again, another stock that I don't personally hold. I hold Twilio and a few other cloud names. I still think the biggest cloud name, I mean, Amazon and Google, also huge in the cloud, and then Microsoft. So I'm all over the space, but that would have been a fantastic opportunity to get long on CRM. You guys love the long-term talk that we have. Like, there it is, man. CRM just taking off. That was an awesome opportunity to get it right at these levels on that news. You could still get another one. We'll see what the deal is if it is going to be cash in stock. But I'm just trolling real light right now, guys, on the market, especially with this news coming out. We are just getting out of Palantir. That's a 26.40 break. This is a 26 break. So, I mean, I'm pretty exhausted right now. 234 trades today, 88 of them on Palantir, 6 on JP Morgan. This was a short. Look at JP Morgan going to the upside. We'll cash out of some of that today as well. And then the weed names. Let's check back on ACB. Here's just another. Like, look at this. Like, this is what my day's been like. Here's ACB, bang. Okay. Here's Fisker. Bang! Should have still held it. Damn you, Fisker. Here's JP Morgan. We were just talking about that. Here's NEO, the only loser I have on. How are you losing there? Oh, yeah. A bad trade off the open with a wick down here with dark prints happening, and the market's not even open. So thank you to that, Neo. Palantir, we don't have to talk too much about that. You guys already know the party that's happening there. And then XPEV, a bunch of shorts and out. These are shorts that lost, so we talked about that live. And then we reverse long on this little break and take $1.50 to put that one to the negative. And guys, that's all. That's all the trades I've done today. Those are all the calls. And if you add it up, it's 7 for 7, but if you want to take that NEO as a loss, which I know a lot of you guys hammered it to the long side, can't believe I'm losing on a stock that's up $5. That would be 6 for 7. Big day, guys, big day.
Yeah, and just to go back to one name that if you've been following along, you know that I've shorted Kodak almost every single parabolic move. It is still holding the high, so I'm not going to try it a 4th time or a 5th time. It gave me the setup 3 times, and I've lost. Well, it was mixed on the last one, so it was basically flat on the last short, but I consider it a loss because it didn't actually go down on me. Phrasing. COCP here just broke through. Now, I said I would hold the rest of it, like half this position for a VWAP break. That's what I've gone ahead and done, but I do have bids all the way down, so if this continues to flush, I will be getting out on the way. Same thing happens with Sundial and IDEX, both of those still working in the money, so not too much need to go over it. The one to be concerned about that I am short is 100% Fisker, right? So it got down to that 1940 area. So you had these, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, these sort of VWAP bounce rejections at 1940. It snaps back down off 20, bounces here again. I take some out. If this breaks back above 20 even, I think obviously a lot of people are going to be going long break. I'm not even waiting for that level. I mean, if it gets anywhere close, I'll probably already be out of the short, just so I don't lose on this trade. And ultimately, that does mean that I would have a stop not at 20 even, but closer to that break-even point. I'm just going to do it manually. I have a level 2 up here that I can watch. And then if it trades anywhere close to it, I'll just get out of it and make another decision at 20 even. And if it rejects off 20, maybe I jump back into the short. But my targets are here. Fisker obviously was a great long trade. I'm just trying this setup because at lunchtime, off an even dollar, a double top, it's just a setup I'm going to take every single time. I'm just more careful with how I do it when I have a bit of a bullish sentiment on the stock, which I clearly do on Fisker today. But it is the short that I have on right now, and that's the plan of action with this one at 83. Not adding to it, just considering that I want to go manual on this in front of 20 for an out.
Okay, yes, there we go. Just typing like a madman here. Okay, XPEV 6560, we still have that. We're looking for more trades though. Square 52-week highs, that is SQ. With only 10 minutes to go, I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and I do want to do a little bit of a rundown coming up right now. So coming up after the show, actually it's probably dropped right now. Valeria's probably already dropped this one. There it is, small caps from our Market Wisdom channel. Brendan avoiding the title there, Canadian small cap opportunities with our friend Rahim Alani from OCI Group. That was a fantastic one right there. We'll go through the gauntlet one more time. Coming up, I don't know why that didn't work. There it is at 1 p.m. Coming up, more of us. So I apologize for that. More topics to come. We film now, we release next week or the week after. There it is, IPO lockups. And then finally, I said we're going to run the gauntlet for you quick time. We do start at 8:30, so one more live show. That's Friday, and this Friday is our last show at 9 o'clock. Then we go over to 8:30, so I'll see you a half hour earlier, guys. Yeah, we'll be putting on some Palantir logs. No, I kid. We'll find out what we're going to do there, but that's coming up, and that is Monday. Remember, no show tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our friends cross-border. We had ours in October. We're going to hit the Canadian flag anyways. It's good to be Canadian. It's good to be anywhere in this world. Stay safe and enjoy your family, guys.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, it's a big holiday in the States. We know that that's going to be the case here. We do celebrate it in Canada, but not nearly the big deal it is. And check out those deals on Black Friday. I know I need to pick up a new laptop, and some people say I need a new phone, which is probably true. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Work open again, guys. Now 30%, or pushing 30%. We're up to 38 here for Slack. It did open again there on another huge volume spike, guys.
Wow, is all you got to say about that one. CRM is actually continuing to give you an opportunity here, and I think you could have definitely bought it off the open. Sorry, not the reopen, I should say, of Slack, and it gave you a nice little bounce off this 250. But just also remember too, when they announced the deal, the more stock is involved, the dilution. Again, it's very likely to oversell on that first day, especially at the open. So in the off chance that it's anywhere around this like 240 level, that'll be a good price to defend. So I'll be watching this one for sure come Monday. It just feels unlikely to me that you'll actually see an announcement on a holiday Friday. So obviously it could happen. I could be entirely wrong about that, but I would consider that unlikely. Probably going to get some update here on like Sunday or maybe on Monday, sometime next week, early December. Going to be the look here on Salesforce and Slack for that deal, guys. Someone asked about a gap, so I will go back to this trade. 2150, still holding the bottom. The look here, and I was actually talking about this with one of our longtime traders on the floor who just opened his own office, so we shout him out. Hope all things are going well if you're watching the show, Yush. But 2150 was the level I wanted to play off of. One of the things that I've been doing when I bottom pick any kind of a big time retracement, I have no problem doing this to the short side, where if it makes a parabolic move up, I get my price, I hold it, I don't get out of it too early, but when it's long, I usually do. This time, I said if I'm going to dip in front of it, make sure I get a price ahead of time that I know I'm comfortable with. That meant no matter where my first entry is, 22 needs to be my average price, and no matter what I see, I'm giving it to this level when I went back to the higher time frame. So I'm giving it to 2150. I don't care what it looks like. That was going to be the play. It's 22, risking off 2150. Whether it consolidates here at 2210, whether it consolidates here at 2180, didn't care about any of that. I had a set amount that I wanted to risk, and I had a price that I wanted. So I feel like that's the way you have to trade. For whatever reason, I'm better personally when analyzing that from a short side. It's sticking to my rules. Now I'm trying to do it here to the long side. Now Fisker back to that 1940 area, a bit of a seller here, so hopefully it gets to VWAP and I can make some money on the short side. It's been all morning long here.
Yeah, Fisker. I mean, Fisker, great. That's been a huge long. We went ham on that one. We only went one time, guys, and that was down here at 1765. Big time trade there. Palantir, I keep hearing everybody talk about that as we go. I'm losing my voice though today, up to 27 and change. 27.07 the high. I'm not going to take a 27 break, guys. It already broke that, so it's just today. Like we take this 23 break and just crush that. We take a 25 break and crush that. We take a 25.75 break. It's been all breaks. To the upside, I'm not going to take 27. It's already broken. We may test a 27.10 long, as that's the new high, but it won't be a very big amount of shares. We only have 5 minutes left, and we're in this one already, a 53-penny winner. I hope the profits are going along on the bottom, guys, and you can see exactly the kind of damage that we've done to this stock and every stock today as well. ACB back into play right now. Palantir, work, ripping. I mean, we can just keep watching work if you want. This is what it looks like when it just keeps going nuts like this, up to 39 and change. Again, very hard to trade if it's going to halt, and then keep doing this. We don't know too many details, but maybe Brendan does. What's up, bud?
Yeah, nothing new on the deal yet. We'll keep an eye out for any additional information on that, but what a move for work. I was just kind of scrolling through some of the Chinese EV names once again, and it was surprisingly this one, guys, kind of leading the way right now. KNDI just broke $15 once again. They're now up nearly 5% on the day. So we went positive early on through 1440. We're up to 15 and change now once again for KNDI.
As you mentioned that, I see Brett, one of our members here, saying Candy has 4 wheels instead of 3. So I don't know, like, you couldn't have seen it because I think there's like a slight delay on YouTube relative to when we're doing it here, like by a few seconds. So great minds think alike. KNDI, we talk about it all the time. Relative strength in a particular space, and you saw some of the EVs sell off here. I did just get some more shares of Fisker in front of 19. So I got 22s here. That'll be like a 60-cent win. The last of it I'll take out in front of VWAP, so hopefully we get a buck on that. And of course, like I said, I will cover this position manually in front of 20. I'm not giving it all the way. I feel like if it goes back and retests it, I want to make an independent decision when it tests that level again, rather than be tied to whatever anchor of shares I have at the current price at 83. So that's a plan of action. There's only 3.5 minutes left. Of course, it is a holiday tomorrow, but there is a half day of trading on Friday. So of course, that show must go on. You know when that last thing we got to do before we get out of here. We always try to find out what national day it is from Valeria. Usually, and you guys can't see, I have like a sneak peek and I know what it's going to be because these guys put it up on that massive big screen, which is in front of my face. This time, I don't actually know what the national day is. So let's go to Valeria and see if we can find out.
Thank you, Neil. And hey guys, thank you for spending this trading morning with us, and thank you for all the support. Please don't forget to hit thumbs up so we can get 2,000 of likes.
Well,
and guys, we'll be back with you very shortly. Open the link I'm sending on the chat at the new tab and tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And happy Thanksgiving, trading family.
Obviously. I thought maybe it'd be like stuffing or
I like that
turkey.
the pictures like moving around. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Good one. Good one there, Valeria. Look, I love stuffing. Stuffing's great. I think you always need to have that. And I want to give a big shout out to my wife, who only, okay, first of all, Palantir, like we can look at that quickly here, up 70 cents. In this trade alone, and I just said I wouldn't take the 27 break, and foolish me, it's ripping. I did want to say it. She only has the cranberries, the cranberry sauce that is like in can form. So like she wants you to open up the can and then dump the jelly, and then it has to be like can form. One time we went to my mother's side of her family, and they make everything fresh. So they're making fresh cranberries. I loved it. That was the best. That's the best. But Marissa was throwing shade because she wants the gangster one in the can. So shout out to you, my love. Ocean Spray canned cranberry sauce, the #1 on my wife's plate, and apparently a new pool.
But reality is, do you, man? You got to live your life and whatever makes you happy, and you know, you just don't care. And if you enjoy
Cranberries.
it, if you enjoy,
That's great.
If you enjoy
shout out
cranberries,
here.
I love that one.
Who was this on the chat here? Velcro Karma. Canberries. I've never heard of that. That is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to go chicken dinner winner for you. I wish this was a turkey dinner winner, but there it is. I think that's the line of the day there. Canberries. I'm going to use that. Thanks for the love on DraftKings as well, guys.
Yeah, and obviously I just saw someone throw in the chat there. As a big football fan, both American and worldwide, Diego Maradona. I mean, it's a horrible news, but you know what? At the end of the day, celebrate one of the greatest at all time of doing what he did and doing what he loves, and that's a good way to segue to the fact that we appreciate the fact that we get to do what we love every single day, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Trading is a privilege. We all get to do it live on this show. The other thing we get to do is drop some content for you. I know we're going to be taping in just an hour or so. We're going to be back live taping some more educational information. But Brendan's face there, he talks about the small cap recap every single day. We're going to go over some Canadian small cap opportunities with a special guest. I won't ruin it. If you saw it live, you might already know. But that video is dropping. The link should already be there, so check it out on the Market Wisdom page. If you want us to cover something, let us know. We take requests. That's what we do around here, guys. It has been a crazy one. Do not forget, we do not have the show tomorrow because the U.S. market is closed for Thanksgiving. And on that note, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Of course, stay safe. Celebrate the best you can with your family. It's definitely time to share, and also think of others that don't have the ability to celebrate as well as you, and think about giving. I mean, whether it's a food bank, whatever it might be, it feels really good to give back, especially on an occasion like this at Thanksgiving. For the entire team down the line, for Valerio, my man, Sean Katina, for Brennan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you on a Friday. Happy Thanksgiving.